Max, is that you? How you doing? It's good to see you. Sorry, I'm hooked up.
Me too. Would it help you guys if I put... I've been really working.
Yeah.
And then now I'm doing this full time, so
Oh, are you?
We'll see what happens here.
It's good. I mean, hey, what better gig, right? Coming off of a championship? Shoot. That's awesome. I like your shirt, by the way.
Thank you. I had to brand it better. So.
I was going to say, is that your... Okay, cool. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, I added somebody.
You got to get me one of those shirts.
What's up, you?
A small, medium? Please. I'll post it. I want to like... Good to see you.
Nice seeing you, too. It's good seeing you work now.
Hey, trying.
My IFB is like super low.
Mine is 2, actually.
I have it turned all the way up though. Is yours all the way up too?
Do I know if my... Oh. Max, can you talk to me when you get a sec? Do it one more time. Oh. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, mine's like cranked and it's I can hear it. Max, I can barely hear you, man. Like, I can barely hear you. There's no way I'm going to be able to make anything out, unfortunately.
Can I put stuff on here? Yes, thank you. I love you, thank you.
I could barely hear that, too.
Players here.
What is going on with
Hey,
this?
just a heads up, we have players.
You might be the only one on IFB. Yeah, he's talking on. Me and Eddie have a line, and then you have a separate line.
Okay.
He's talking to me, but it's like.
Yeah, I can hear you
not
fine.
even a whisper.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with the cord? Does Jeff know that?
I don't know. There is something in my ear, but I can't make anything out. Okay. If I cover
Let's go. It is that time of year again, fellas. Celtics Media Day here ahead of the 2024-25 season. You are going to get to hear from so many players, actually maybe all the players if we can get to them.
Let's get all of them.
All of them.
Get all of them, yeah.
And coming off their championship win, getting to talk a little bit about the postseason, the offseason, all that went down. But without further ado, welcome here. I'm Kayla Burton. We have the analyst of the Celtics and TV host, Marc D'Amico, in the house with us here today. And of course, we have NBA champ Eddie House also joining us.
What's up, y'all?
Fellas, what's going on?
Well, I just got to say, I have experience coming in the year after a team wins a championship, and I hope, Kayla, it doesn't take you as long as me to get a championship.
How many years?
That was 15 years.
15
okay, so
years.
let's make this a little bit quicker.
I'm being
this time
spoiled
around
in my
for you.
rookie year right now, so we're off to a good start. Eddie, how you doing?
Ooh, almost messed up the
Yeah,
tape.
besides
the
messing up
table
the
already.
set.
Yeah, no, I'm doing good. Excited for the season. I think this is a great opportunity for these guys to do something special. Back-to-back hasn't happened in quite a while. I think was it the Warriors the last time
Yep.
it happened? Was at 2016, somewhere around there.
It's a while ago.
So it's been a while, and this is a great group of guys. I couldn't have been more proud of them last year on how they accomplished their goals. They went out and did it, but this year is going to be a tougher task. But I think this is the perfect team for it.
Eddie, you specifically know what it's like to win a championship, and obviously the year after is a little bit different compared to this roster and this team, but how do you approach this upcoming season, knowing that you're going into it, Joe Mazzulla doesn't really love the terminology run it back, but if anything, kind of moving it forward? How do you go about that?
Well, it was different from this team, from our team. Our team, we lost James Posey, a big piece. We lost P.J. Brown. He was a big piece in our finals run. This team is basically came back to the same, they added Lonnie Walker. But besides that, you have the same group of guys. Now, we went into that season, even though we lost Poles and we lost P.J. Brown, thinking, hey, we're going to go back-to-back. And if it wasn't for KG getting hurt there in Utah, I think we had a pretty good chance of getting back to the finals. But we didn't. But this team is totally different.
If Posey came back, if P.J. Brown came back, what do you think that would have changed in the locker room as you guys were going into the season, basically bringing everyone back?
Well, I think the mindset would have been exactly what it was the year before, is that we got to win this thing. We're going to go win this thing, actually. But when your best player, when Ticket went down, I mean, that was just a big blow for us. I mean, even though we still, won 62 games or something like that, it's still, to get over that hump, the playoffs, you got to have a guy like that on the floor.
What was that feeling like when you won that championship and then coming to this point where it's like, okay, here we go, reset mode, let's get into this new season? How do you transition from an emotional standpoint?
You have a shorter summer, so you don't have a chance to really enjoy a full summer like you would if you got put out in the playoffs.
I don't know. These guys enjoyed their.
Oh yeah, no, I know they did. I know they did. They did exactly. But I'm saying you got to get right back to work, though.
Yeah.
And once you get right back to work, you lock back in and you focused on what the task is at hand, and that's winning the championship. But there's nothing less than that.
Marc, you were a part of that championship celebration. What was that like for you getting to be around these players?
A long time coming. No, it felt amazing. I mean, to watch the guys, and especially for guys like Jaylen and Jayson, guys who we saw get drafted here, come up here, go through so many opportunities and not get over that hump. To see them finally get over that hump, it just felt great to watch it happen and to be able to be a part of it and enjoy it in the locker room. I mean, Eddie, the locker room celebration is just nuts, right?
I wasn't in there. I was out on the floor preparing to interview all the guys.
But you got plenty of experience in the locker room,
I had a blast on the floor interviewing everybody. It was one of the best nights. And then the after party was crazy.
Let's not get too deep into that. No, but the thing that stands out to me about all these, we're talking about all these guys coming back. Many of them had to choose to come back, right? Had to choose to extend, and every single one of them made that decision. So that's what stands out to me about all of these guys coming back this season. And I think we might have our first guest coming up right here.
I think we do.
Am I right?
Without further ado, everybody, we need to welcome in the GOAT
Number
of
42.
the Celtics, Al Horford.
What's up, Al?
Joining us here today.
Hey, how are you?
Back from the DR?
Back from the DR.
Congratulations, by the way.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Huge congratulations.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What was that experience like? I mean, we all saw all the videos, and from the moment you got on the JetBlue Lucky
Man,
plane to get
it was
down
crazy. Going down there in the JetBlue plane, the Celtic edition one, and getting that whole plane to ourselves. Coach Mazzulla, Tony Davins, my wife, my kids. I was able to bring my mom with me as well, and
Don't forget Larry O'Brien. He came with you as well.
and obviously, right, Larry coming with us. I was with him the whole flight, sitting right next to me, and just bringing it to DR just was an unbelievable feeling. In that way, that style, we got there. Everybody's waiting for us, and getting to to spend some days there and getting to celebrate with everybody down there, very special for me and my family.
And you've received quite the honor, right?
Yeah.
Can you please tell all the viewers about the honor that you received?
Very neat. Got to meet the president over there, and I received the highest Medal of Honor in Dominican Republic.
Congrats.
And it was a surprise to us, to our family. So just very, very grateful for that. Very happy to be able to share that moment and have my wife there, my parents, and then Coach Mazzulla there supporting me as well. That was pretty special for me.
Not a bad way to wrap up the summer.
Al, what is it like being the first-born Dominican player to win an NBA championship? I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's special. For me, I take a lot of pride always in trying to play the game the right way, trying to be a team guy, and finally to be able to win and represent my country and over there give people hope to one day strive for to do big things. For me, it's been pretty special.
It's awesome to see how you've grown, how you continue to lead this specific team and the team last year and the team the year before. How do you continue to really look back at not only the past year, the previous year, but grow it and get the guys to buy into this program?
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing for us is just committing to team and committing to playing that Celtic way, the way that the Celtics teams want to play, and we want to be tough, we want to defend. There's a lot of things that we want to play. We want to play the right way, and it's just trying to build that consistency and also being consistent with our approach and with our work and with our preparation every day. And I feel like our groups in the past, we've done that. We've had a lot of success, and obviously last year we got over the hump, but I think the biggest thing for us is just being consistent and really buying into the process every day.
Yeah, you going into your 18th season, right? You look phenomenal, by the way.
Thank you.
You look like a rookie still, right? You do, though. You know me.
Eddie knows just because he beat us back in 08, and he saw how I was as a rookie, so he says I still look like
man doesn't age.
So coming into this season, your 18th season, what is the difference? What is your different preparation that you have this year than you had, your rookie year, not knowing what to expect, and then as being a vet, knowing what to expect, and then coming to your 18th after winning the championship? What was your approach this summer?
Yeah, I know. For me, from this year to all the way back to my rookie year, I mean, now I have an expectation of what it is like having a full NBA season, the ups, the downs, the grind, how you have to prepare your body in the summer to endure all that, and now having a shorter summer, took some time off, but I took about 3 weeks off, and then I just started back, just trying to build it back up, working on the body, getting in the weight room, doing some conditioning, and just going from there, progressing to get myself in a place that I'm ready to go, because we're starting here pretty quickly. So just staying consistent, staying committed to the process, and really take it day to day, and continuing to build. I'm not quite there yet, but we're getting there.
So in your rookie year, like what going into your workouts, right? You say you had to start you took about 3 weeks off. When you were younger, would you have took a little bit more time off, or did you like, okay, I got to gradually ratchet this up, like you said, or because you just can't jump right into it?
It was so different back then, as like I feel like a lot of the times, like we kind of went into training camp, and that was kind of our time to kind of get it together. Like it's just the way it is. And then like I started to learn that you kind of had to start putting in some work. You have to prepare for the season, for the long season. You have to prepare your body physically. So yeah, my rookie year, I was not even close. Like, I kind of came in and just kind of, camp. We're doing 2-a-days. The whole month of October, we're going at it. We started like late October, early November. So it was just so different. The way that we do it now, we have such support from the team. Like, I think the team does a great job with the performing staff really taking care of us, laying out a plan for us, and we just kind of, if we just follow that along, they'll have us in positions to, to be ready to go when the season starts.
Speaking about taking care of your body, last year you played, I think it was 4 minutes less per game than you did the season before. And then all of a sudden during the postseason, your field goal percentage is skyrocketing. I mean, 9% higher from the field, 7% higher from three-point range. Do you think that watching the minutes during the season actually impacted what you were able to do, especially going all the way through the finals?
Yeah, I think it was beneficial for me, no question about it. I always prepare myself, to play as much as I need to, even in the regular season. I just think that last year we have such depth that I kind of had the luxury that I don't have to, go crazy like that. But it was beneficial for me then. But right now I'm, preparing myself and making sure that I'm ready in the regular season, whatever is needed of me to make it work.
As a competitor, did that bother you not playing the minutes, or you just had to buy into like, hey, this is the goal. I know it right now, but right now I want to play, but it's about being ready for the postseason. But did it kind of bother you, mess with you? Because you always play, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, like you said, you're a competitor, but I think that, once I saw the amount of talent that we have in our locker room and guys that are capable, I understood that that things had to be different for me, and then I understood that that I had to make sure that I was just staying prepared and staying consistent, and whatever the team needed from me, that's what I was going to do. And in the past, I've had to play a lot more, and but like I said, we have so much talent now, so many guys that can do different things, and I feel like Joe does such a good job in putting us in different situations and kind of plugging people in when he needs them, that we don't have to go crazy. So from a competitive standpoint, I felt it, but I understood that it was for the better of the team.
Yeah, that's why I was going to ask you, like, the first time he told you, I know you had to be like, come on. You got me, I need to get out there, man.
No, I mean, I trust Joe. Like, that's the one thing that I can tell you, like with him, I'm going to ride with him. I know he has the best interest for our team, for me. And as soon as he said it, I was like, you know what? Say no more. I'm gonna stick to it, and it worked out for us last year. So.
When you are in a situation where Kristaps Porzingis is out and you're able to step up the way you did in a very important game, 22 points, 6 threes, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, how do you get to that mentality where you're able to do the dirty work, do the minute details, but also dominate when your name is called?
Yeah, I think for me it's just competing. I have fun competing. I enjoy it, and really trying to stay ready and trying to do whatever I can to help the team win. And it just hasn't changed. I think that at times I've had bigger roles, and last year I was asked to have a different role. But when the opportunity was presented, I'm just competing out there, and I'm trying to take advantage of it.
How many different roles have you been asked to have? Like, throughout your tenure, how many roles is it?
No, it's been all over the place, but I just want our team to be successful. I want us to, enjoy this process, and I really, enjoyed last season, and now I'm looking forward to, starting it back up and building it back up again.
That's what I was just getting ready to ask him. Okay, so last year coming into training camp, you have the goal, we're going to win a championship, because they asked me the same question. Mindset and mentality coming into this season after winning it, are you extra confident, like, yeah, okay, we know what the path is, we know what the road is, we're going to be able to handle this? Or is it more so like, all right, we know people are going to attack us, we're going to have to stick to the script, and it might be a little bit harder than it was last year?
Yeah, I know it's definitely a different challenge, and for me, the way that I look at it is we're just going to dive into the work again. We're going to dive into the process. We got to climb that mountain up again. Like we were at the top. Yeah, we feel good, but that's kind of behind us now, and we have to build it back up. And we understand it, and this, being a Celtic, you're going to get everybody's best shot regardless.
Period.
Like last year, people were coming at us. This year's going to be no different.
And when you say that, it makes me think that everybody thinks that all of a sudden you guys are going to be the hunted because you won the championship. And I'd be telling people like, man, they've been to finals, they've been to conference championship, they've been the hunted. So it's not nothing new. They got over the hump last year. So I don't feel like that part of it, of you getting the best shot. I think you guys been getting the team's best shot for the last 5 years.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think that's definitely what it is. But I think to your point, our mindset is we're going to build it back up. You know, we got to start, get back to work. And I'm excited about tomorrow morning. Get that first practice in and just try to get better.
Right. Let's go. Go time.
I can't let him go without asking this. How did you pick your outfit for the parade?
Good question. Good question.
we need to know.
Yep.
I think we've got some B-roll to see it. The cowboy hat, the Tom Brady T-shirt.
I do remember
how did this come together? Where did it come from?
Yeah.
Did you order that T-shirt?
No, the shirt was a gift from one of our athletic trainers.
Perfect.
So he gifted it, and I told him I would wear it. And then the hat was also a gift, but then you know,
look at that hat.
I've been
there
into. You like it, right?
Cowboy Al. That's a new nickname.
That was another gift as well. But you
Not
know,
a wrinkle in it.
I started watching Yellowstone, so I was like, man,
so you were buying it.
I'm putting
the
it in
Dominican
there.
cowboy.
Oh my God.
So I was like, I'm doing it. So
well, we saved the most important question for last.
Yeah.
So thank you for solving the riddle that we've all been thinking about all summer.
Thank you.
We appreciate it, man. Good luck this season. Congrats. And I think you're well on your way to the Hall of Fame, man. Congratulations.
All right. Thanks, man.
Good luck
Appreciate
carrying
it.
the team.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Al.
Al Horford, everybody. He is awesome. And this is just the start of one of the many players that we are going to talk to today. In the meantime, check out the Celtics Talk podcast for the latest news on the team as they get ready to try and defend their title. You can also scan the QR code right there on your screen or find it on your favorite podcasting app or even on YouTube. It's presented by 24autogroup.com. 11 locations across New England. And without further ado,
JD Davison
we got
has
somebody
joined
here
us.
to join us.
JD, how's the offseason, brother?
Pretty quick, but
Yeah,
I can't complain.
you're telling me. What did you do with the time off?
I just went home.
Or not time off? Obviously, we saw you in Summer League, and then after that, what'd you get into?
I just went home, enjoyed the family, that little time, just spending at home with the family because it wasn't as much time, so couldn't go on a deep vacation. Just went home to the family, enjoyed that time, and just worked out at home.
Did you get some time with the trophy?
Nah, not as much as JT had with it, but I got a little bit with
Or
it.
Payton at his wedding? We'll talk to him about that
Kicking it with the
later.
family, save that money.
Yeah,
there you go.
Going back to Bama, man, ain't that like
But sometimes that is the best vacation, right? Everyone's going places, and for you, is it just like, all right, I need to get home, I just want to chill? Like, what was your mentality?
Yeah, I'm not a big out of the country or anything vacation prep. I like going home back to Bama where I get a good home cooked Southern meal where that's the best meal you can have, and that's the best thing for me to do. Just go home and kick it with the fam.
Who's cooking?
My dad get on that barbecue grill and do his thing.
What's the favorite?
Probably ribs. Whatever he cook. Yeah.
I don't think we're eating for 4 hours, so thank you for telling us
this
that
is
right
just
out
the
the
start.
gate.
We're going to
Wow.
be thinking about that for the
You
next
said
4
whatever
hours.
he cooked.
Anything
He get down like that?
Anything he cook.
We have to be the judge of that.
Anything.
We may have to get him on this show. All right.
haven't sent me a
that's what's
plate.
up.
If he wants to bring some up later this season, we will eat it on set.
Once he comes down, I'm going to tell him to give y'all a plate. I
Please.
got you.
Please.
Talking about the actual summer and rewinding to Summer League, though, like what was your experience out there with the team, and what did you take away from what you were able to do on the court?
Obviously, not playing the last 3 games in Summer League kind of killed me a little bit because I wanted to go out there and show what I can do, show what I've been working on during the G League season and Boston City, going back and forth, and just being that, just going to try to be a leader. Going into year 3, I try to be one of those guys to be a vocal leader for the young guys. We went to a Summer League young team, so I just try to be one of those guys that be outspoken.
Eddie, when this guy came in, everything was about the athleticism and the ability to rack up points. But then I see him get on the court. He's averaged like 9 assists per game the last 2 seasons in the G League, over 7 assists during the Summer League this offseason. Where did that passing vision and ability come from, and how has that developed since you got here to Boston?
I always just thought it's been there, but it always been kind of loose. I never knew about reads before getting to college or anything like that because my high school was small. All I did was score the ball. So once I got into college and And here it's all about reads and learning where to when to pass and where to pass. So that just helped me a lot going from year 1 to year 2. Now I'm going to year 3. So
And we're watching it right here. Okay, that's the athleticism right there. That was not the passing.
So what was some of the things you said you wanted to show, the last 3 games that killed you that you didn't get out there in the G League and have an opportunity
Yep, that's what he does.
to show what you've been working on, tell people what you've been working on and the kind of stuff. And besides the reads probably is a big thing, but what else you was working
I
on?
was just being a point guard or a leader on the court, and one of them things was going out there and making shots, making open threes, shooting the ball with confidence. And I think I started off well shooting the ball in summer league, and then it just showed people around the league what I can do. Just come out there and play my game and just go out there and have fun with it.
You mentioned this at the start of our little show here. You said I was more quiet, and you mentioned this in Summer League too. You were a little more quiet last year, and you're trying to be more vocal. Is that something that's been expressed to you from a coach's perspective, or is it something, maybe both, that you want to really hone in on, and how do you do that?
Yeah, it's definitely been expressed by everyone in the organization. They wanted me to talk more and I just been watching guys like Star Marcus Smart, then come Jrue, then come Derrick White. I just been watching those guys, the way they talk to the team and just how it translates to the court, and it just help everybody else.
You're not even, I don't think people realize this, you're not even 22 years old yet.
Not
right?
yet.
Right?
Not yet.
It's crazy. And he's already had 3 years. Where do you think you can get to?
I obviously think I can be a good asset to a winning team. Coming off the bench or starting, it don't matter. I just want to be on a good team. Not just a good team, but on the team, just a part of just being a part of a team, just go out there and help win games.
All right, JD, we appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Good luck this
y'all.
season. We can't wait to watch you out there.
Yeah.
Throw down some of those dunks for us. We love seeing that, but we love seeing
Yeah,
the
we need to
passes
see
as
that
well.
later on.
Got you. Thank you.
Thank you for
Good
your
luck,
time,
JD.
JD.
Appreciate it, man.
Mm-hmm.
One of the great things about this day is you get to see not only the talent and the different guys, but we have an Al Horford who was just here moments ago, and now
And
we got
also
someone
have
else.
a 7-footer.
Yes.
What's up, Neemi? How are you,
Neemias
brother?
Queta.
See you, man.
Big man.
So
How we
thankful for you to be here. How you doing? How's the off season been?
It's been good. It's been good. Good to be back in town. Had a nice summer. Got to recover, rest up, recharge batteries. We're good to go.
What did your summer consist of?
Just a lot of traveling, seeing family, working out, just recharging batteries, getting to the beach. It's always nice to do that.
Get
type
into
of
the
stuff.
beach.
Hey, you left something out, killing the summer league.
Yeah, that as well.
That part.
Went to work.
You know when someone is dominating Summer League that they're past that.
Yep.
They're past that. They're ready for the real thing. And you are definitely ready for that. No, we've had 3 guys on the show now, including you. 2 of them have been the first to win an NBA championship from their country. Al in the Dominican Republic, and now you from Portugal. Did you get back there this summer? Is that the beach you were talking about? And what was that experience like, being able to go home as the first player from your country to win an NBA championship?
Oh, it was definitely a lot of fun. I got to get so much love from the people over there. Portugal is becoming more interested in basketball, so it's great timing that we just got this championship. So it's just a great timing for all these stuff to happen. So
Are you
Actually-
aware that we just launched Portuguese Celtics channels?
Yes. Yeah.
We love it. Yeah, we're
point with them.
going after it, man. Everyone in Portugal wants the Celtics because of you.
Did you get to take Larry O'Brien with you?
No. Unfortunately,
Larry didn't make the trip.
I
That's all
tried
right.
last minute, but it was already somewhere else.
How does that come about? Like, who gets dibs? How does that work? Do you know?
Yeah.
We kind of know.
There's a pecking order.
There's an order, but I tried way too late on the timing, and it was already somewhere else. So I couldn't
Now you
do
know
it.
for next time.
Yeah,
I actually have a really great story for you. Our coworker Tom Giles, he was in Portugal, and he was in what are those? And I'm going to sound ignorant, but one of those mini cars that you drive around.
The tuk-tuks.
Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
going to mispronounce it.
Yeah.
He was in those.
Do you fit in those?
And he had
Nobody
so
else
many
would,
people,
yeah.
so many people saying, "Hey, where's your Queta jersey? Where's your Queta?" Like, he didn't bring his jersey, and so next time he is 100% bringing that jersey
definitely-
because you have
sign
a
it
lot
for
of
him.
pride in that country.
They might get it stolen off his
You
back.
got to sign it for him.
I will. Let me get it.
So, Neemias, what's your mentality going into this season, especially after what you were able to do last year, kind of being plugged in at really key moments, KP, out for at least the first couple of months. How can you take advantage of this opportunity?
Obviously, I feel like it starts with the preparation you do in the summer, knowing how much better you can get, and just working hard during that summer, knowing that you're gonna get an opportunity, a bigger opportunity this year. So the mindset is to go in there and just help the team win any type of way, and whether it's playing 2 minutes, whether it's playing 40 minutes, it can all go up and down. So I'm just prepared for any type of play that's thrown my way.
What did you add to your bag this summer?
I feel like being able to switch defensively, become more versatile offensively too, extend your game, your range too. So I feel like it's just being able to become more versatile in my game, and that can help you stay on the court for longer.
Besides on the court action, are you also in the film room? Are you a big film guy, watching a lot of film? And
yeah.
If you do, are you watching yourself and where you could be better, or are you watching players that you kind of look up to and say, hey, I can do that. Let me see how they're being successful and how they are attacking people offensively and defensively?
Yeah, majority of the film, I watch a lot of film, but majority of the film is on me. What I could have done better, what things I can improve on, and being able to. And I feel like the development for me is a majority of it is watching film. Picking up little details that can go a long way on the difference that you're making on the court, whether it's technicalities on fouls, technicalities on switching defensively, stuff like that. Watching film just breaks it down and makes it so much easier for me to get on the court and having the muscle memory to figure that out.
Nimi, we were talking at the top of the show that almost the entire team is coming back, but many of the guys had to choose to come back, and one of those guys was you. What made you choose to come back to this team?
From the moment I got here, I just felt comfortable, you know. I felt like home. Everybody welcomed me. I felt really good over here, and we had just won the championship. I just had the best year of my career, so it was kind of like a no-brainer for me. Pretty much being out here, just being a part of a championship type of team with so many of these great players, it's just for me, it's just a great place to be in. So
no-brainer for you is a no-brainer for the team. After seeing you in those last couple games of the year, scoring about 20 points, grabbing about 10 rebounds, blocking shots, dominating summer league, as Eddie said. We're going to need you with KP out for the first few months, so we can't wait to see you out there. Congrats on the championship. Congrats on bringing it back to Portugal. We can't wait to see you this season.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Good luck, big fella.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys.
Right,
Yes, sir.
Queta, everybody. Awesome. We have more coming your way.
All right.
Take it over.
We got Celtics post-up coming tonight. Tune in to NBC Sports Boston tonight at 7 p.m. for a special Media Day edition of Celtics Post-Up. The crew will have a full wrap-up of today's interviews and look ahead to the new season. It's presented by Eastern Propane and Oil. They're in your neighborhood. All right, and as promised, we've got the president of the Boston Celtics, Brad Stevens.
The genius.
The genius,
The
as he calls him.
magician, the
We know that
chef.
you wouldn't take that compliment. Brad, busy summer. short summer. How did you get all this done? Bringing all these guys back.
He's like, what part?
That happened pretty fast. Yeah, that happened pretty fast. I think, whenever you have a team that gets along, has an understanding of kind of where they fit and how they fit together, and is motivated by the right stuff, then you want to try to bring back as much of that as possible, whether you want it or not. And we were fortunate enough that guys wanted to be here. Some of our guys that obviously we only had a couple that were free agents this summer. A lot of the other moves were extension moves with guys that were already under contract for this year. But it's exciting that they get a chance to follow up on what they did last year.
And Austin indicated this summer that a couple of those guys that were free agents might have had an opportunity to get a bigger deal or a bigger role somewhere else, but they chose to come back. Why do you think they made that decision? What were your conversations with them to say, we want to bring this team back and try to do this again?
Yeah, I mean, we don't focus on others when we're having those conversations. It's just about, this is what we have, and this is who we are. This is where we see you fitting into our group, and you've been a really valued person in our group. And I think that the environment's good. I think people love playing for Joe. But it's just like it's a really positive environment, and that'll be tested as you go through the ups and downs of a season. But if you have a core character to you and a self-awareness to you, you can get through that stuff.
Now, that's a tough task, though, to be able to put all those pieces together and make everything work to where you like him, he likes you, everybody likes everybody.
We know
right?
that's not the case.
Okay. But that's a tough task in itself. And what's your process when you are picking these players, when you are saying, these are the type of players I want? Because I know you brought in Lonnie Walker. It's another guy from the Spurs, so you know they don't draft bad character type players. You know, they do their due diligence. What's the process that you have?
Yeah, I mean, I just look at it really simply as to be competitive in the NBA and to win in the NBA, you have to have a requisite level of talent, right? So we know that. So there's only so many people to choose from in the world that can play in this league. Mm-hmm. Secondly, then, above that, and I mentioned this term earlier, I think you have to have self-awareness. You have to know kind of where you are, how you fit, what strengths you bring to the table, how to accentuate others. And then we really look for people that have a growth mindset. Like, they're not going to get too high or too low. They're just going to keep working, trying to improve and get better. I think that's led by Tatum and Brown. I think that those guys, have accomplished all that they've accomplished at this young of age, but they just keep working. And I think that that's something that is a great thing and sets a great tone. So if we can find guys that really have the desire to win and, be self-aware enough to do so, it's an easy fit.
Off of that, you have such a unique, incredible experience having been a coach in this organization and now running the show here and generating, basically putting all the pieces of the puzzle together. How does that benefit you and your mentality when it comes to the decision-making process on who's going to be a part of this team?
Well, I think where it benefits you in this seat, and thankfully I've got help in a bunch of the areas that I'm not as good at, right? Where I've got a great front office that can really help us navigate all of the different things that you have to navigate. But I do think that as a coach, as a former player, Eddie, you would know this, that how if you have people that are all in and can stay even throughout the good and the bad, it's such a better journey, right? And what you don't want to be doing is constantly fighting yourself, right? Constantly like, I want more, I need to be in this position, I need this, I need that. And if you have people that are naturally competitive and unselfish, then, and how that all fits, it just has a tendency to play itself out better on the court. And again, I give our two best players a ton of credit, but then, I think as you start looking at our team, we have some guys that people call role players that aren't role players. Mm-hmm. They're just really good basketball players who are more than willing to do what it takes to be successful on the court. And they define success as winning.
how do you cancel out or teach these guys? And Eddie, you know this from a player's perspective of having to deal with social media, deal with the outside talk, but also having to cancel out that noise, if that's the philosophy. When you have two leaders, like you mentioned, what's your approach and advice to them of buying in and saying, hey, let's not listen to what everyone else is talking about, but let's focus
I think that's so hard when you're their age or younger. And I think it gets easier as you get into your 30s. Now in my 40s, you could care less, right? Because you know what? You've been through it all. You've been through all the pats on the back that you probably didn't deserve and all the scrutiny that maybe you didn't deserve at the time or over scrutiny. And you know what? After 2 days, it moves on and something else becomes a story and you just keep doing your job. I think that that's something you learn over time. If you are dialed into everything everyone says on every social media app, it's going to be tough, right? Especially if it like really can impact you. I think you have to separate what's real, right, and what's not. And, you know, a lot of the negativity is fueled by things that may not even have anything to do with the game, right? Maybe it's gambling. Maybe it's, you know, just, you know.
Haters.
Yeah. And they're out there. And, you know, I think we all know that there's people in the media that are paid to tell a story, and there's people in the media that are paid to give their opinions, and that's great. Everybody's getting paid, and that's part of it, and we have to understand that. But you also have to have perspective in that. So, and the perspective that I think our guys can take with them is when they turn the corner onto Causeway in the parade, you're like, whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, like all these people are fans, like, and I think that's a good visual for our players to keep in mind if someone has something negative to say about them, because there are a lot more people rooting for them.
You know what I think is that it starts with the two superstars, right? Jaylen and Jayson, and with them two, I feel like they're secure in their skin, you know, and they're able to walk around with where they could block out that noise because they know exactly who they are. You know, Jaylen knows exactly who he is. You know, he got snubbed with the USA team. You know, he should have been a part of that. He should have been all NBA defensive team last year. He knows all that, but instead of allowing that to really, really bother him, he's secure in his skin, and he just goes back to work. And when he goes back to work, it's not him being selfish. Our two best players are selfless.
Yep.
And then when you add Al Horford, you have him, and you bring in Jrue Holiday with that masterful job that you did last year, by the way. You know what I mean?
That was a really, like, I would like to say that was a super smart move, masterful, whatever you want to call it. No brainer, right?
No brainer.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Good point.
That was a home run. Yes.
That was a soft, but then you got him. He's selfless, you know. And I think you were kind of
Derrick,
Derrick, the same way everybody. But when you were kind of talking about certain players, first one that came to my mind was Jrue Holiday. Like whatever needs to be done, and if it's just today, I'm going to play. I have to guard this big. I'm going to have to switch up on this big. He's willing to do it. He's selfless. And I think selfless, and I think that's what this team is full of. And because if your leaders are like that, it trickles down throughout the rest of the team.
Horford, yeah, and I think Horford and Holiday being our two guys that are up in the 30s. That, I mean, if you truly want to talk about like the best vet leadership in the league, there's no way anybody's got us beat there. You know, you can, however many teams are good and everything, there's no one that's got us beat in veteran leadership, because those two are as good as it gets, because they are all about all of the right stuff. And I think that you said comfortable in their own skin, and that's kind of what I'm saying when I say self-awareness, right? Just, you know, it's not all about you when you're a part of this thing, right? In the Celtics, and your best players have to exemplify that, and they have to, like you said, be motivated to go back to work. They have to kind of grit their teeth through some of the scrutiny, and they have to also, you know, not get too caught up in the praise. That's part of being the best player here.
Brad, on the similar topic, talking about some of the younger guys on this roster, I'm just curious, how do you guys keep them engaged from the start of the season to the end of the season when you've got so much talent at the top where they might not see that glimmer of hope to actually getting minutes with the Celtics? How do you guys keep them engaged day in and day out to want to come back? Like a guy like Queta was a free agent. He decided to come back.
Well, we pay them a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
There's that part.
There's that part. I mean, I think one time when I was coaching, we were sitting in, and we weren't that great. It was early on in my time, and I said, "Okay, raise your hand if at the age of 15 you would have signed up to be the 15th guy in the Lakers-Celtics game." Everybody raised their hand. Of course, everybody just wants to be in the NBA. But then your goalposts move because 82 games happen, and you want to play more, and you want to be more impactful, and your happiness gets affected by that, and all that goes with that. With those young guys, they can't do that, and so it's great that we have not only the top 6 that have been well documented, but then you've got a next group of guys that have, at a lot of times, waited their turn and added to their game with daily work. Payton, Sam, Luke, X, guys that know who they are and can come in and give us what we need when we need it. And so they have to become role models in a lot of ways, for Scheierman and Walsh and Springer and those guys, and Neemi, because those guys, that's how you ascend. And then when your opportunity comes, you try to take advantage of it.
And we've seen many of the Celtics do that over the past couple of years, and you just mentioned a bunch of them. So congratulations again on the championship. We're looking forward to another season here with many of the same players coming back, and hope you're ready for tomorrow. Practice number 1.
Practice number 1.
All right,
thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Brad, thanks for your time.
See ya.
Appreciate the time.
Really appreciate you. So cool to hear all the different perspectives, right? From the young players, the Al Horfords, to the executives, Brad Stevens, who's coached here. And guess what? We got more coming for you today, including the shooter who's had a bit of a busy offseason.
Yeah, it
Sam
was
Hauser,
busy.
Dad Hauser?
Marc D'Amico.
Yeah, which job do we get to first? Let's start, Dad.
Up to you guys.
Let's start with Dad.
Let's start with Dad.
Sure,
How
sure.
is being? First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
How is it being
Congrats.
a dad?
It's great. It was the best part of the summer, for sure, hands down. It's been a learning process, an adjustment period, and trying to figure out a sleep schedule that works.
What is the sleep schedule right now?
It's
None?
it's based on the little fella. Yeah,
Are y'all
it's based.
taking turns?
So I usually take the last night shift and the first morning shift when I wake up, and then she takes everything in between. So we've been breaking up that way, see how it works, but I'm sure it'll change at some point.
It
Are the
will,
folks
trust me.
nearby to help? Do you have,
So, yeah, her parents were just in town. My brother and sister were just in town. And then my parents are coming this weekend. Her parents are coming back out
Need
when we go to
that
Abu
big
Dhabi.
time.
So,
You need that help.
yeah,
Theodore.
so they'll be out probably more this year
Yeah.
because of him. So, it'll be great.
Yeah, schedule's going to change a little bit now that practice and games and, I don't know, a trip to Abu Dhabi is coming up. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
What's his name?
Theodore David Hauser. We're calling him Teddy.
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 Yeah.
Teddy Hauser.
Who thought of the name? Don't get me down this pathway. I'll go on and on and on.
It doesn't come from the family on either side. We just kind of liked the name. So we rolled with it. And he looked like a Teddy.
Joint decision. Love it. He looked like a Teddy.
Little future hooper.
Exactly.
He's going to shoot threes.
Yeah.
That we
Yeah.
know.
Probably.
Let's rewind to maybe the last time we saw you, which was the parade. And something tells me you had a hell of a day that day. We saw you with your shirt off. We saw the goggles on.
Yeah.
You were having a good time. And
Living his best
listen,
life. There he is.
I've got a little extra perspective because
I love the lead up.
The tagline under that is great. Yeah.
You get some sun,
I was fortunate enough
I needed some sun, obviously. Look at me.
You look great. You look great. You look like you were having fun.
Alabaster skin, man.
But I was walking out of the garden with Sam and his family, and I happened to take a look down and saw that they were very well stocked for the day. So I knew that you guys were going to have a good time, and surely enough, you did.
If you couldn't tell we were from Wisconsin, you could tell by the way we came prepared for that day.
There was lots of beer and cheese.
Yeah, there was. It's a lot of fun. I mean, there's no pacing on parade day.
Not at all.
You got to enjoy it. You
Not
know.
at all.
So.
From the looks of it on social media, there was no pacing for the next week for you. It looked like you had a good time.
Why should there
And
be?
There shouldn't be. No, I was loving it. I'm like, Sam is living his best life
He's
right now.
supposed to.
On a serious note,
Absolutely.
what is that like? All the hard work that you guys have done. You having a ridiculous career night with those threes. I mean, that was just something that everyone's rooting for you, at least in the Celtics nation, for you to get this season. But what was that like? How rewarding is it when you see at the end, hey, I can finally hold up the trophy and enjoy this moment?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a culmination of all the work you put in for that past year and all the years leading up to that point in everybody's basketball career. So you dream of that, you work for it, you work towards it every single year, and to be at the mountaintop and celebrate it was pretty special, and, try to do it again this year.
When did you get back to work?
I got back to work probably mid to late July.
Late July. Okay,
Yeah.
so
I took like a month. Took a month.
Month kicking it. You're
Yeah,
supposed to.
yeah.
You deserved it. You know what I mean? You deserved it,
It's a
champ.
lot of games.
So
Yeah,
what
it was.
So
Being a dad.
what have you incorporated or added to your game, and how is it stuff on the court? Is it more film work? I've been asking. I asked Queta that because I'm interested in that to see how you guys learn. For me myself, it was a combination of both. I knew that for the most part I was playing the ball in my hands, making moves. I just need to make the right read. So I watched a lot of film and just kept my clip right.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of that, but also just trying to be more confident when guys are out and we get a little bit of more of an opportunity to do different things on the court. But just being more confident in doing them, whether it's handling the ball in a pick and roll or pushing it in transition or taking a guy off the dribble and making the right read, like Eddie said, just stuff like that to just fine tune. So when I do get in a situation like that, which is, on the rarer side during the season when we have a full squad, but if I'm able to be ready whenever that time comes, that'll expand and improve my game.
I need you to do one thing for me, because you get a bad whistle. And I always talk about it. You play good defense, and you get a bad whistle. I don't know what that's about. You got to get a tech one of these times.
I got
Will
a
you?
tech.
Oh,
Yes,
Remember?
he did.
Indiana series.
Yes, he did.
I got one.
You did get
Yes.
one. You might have to get a couple. But no,
honestly,
That
I
was not
didn't,
enough.
I didn't get my
2,000?
money's worth. I didn't get my money's worth. on
Get
that.
your money. Was it 2,000 now?
25.
2,500.
Yeah.
It was 500 when I first came in. Went to 1,000, and then
It just keeps.
It's different, man.
the money. The more money
It's
they
a
pay them, the
donation
more
to a
money
good
they want to
cause.
get back.
If it's worthy of a tech this year, I'll make sure I can get a little
Don't let
feisty.
the refs do you like that, man. You be out there playing good
Show up a
defense.
sign
I'm
for
telling
Eddie
you,
House.
All right.
Now
I
that
be
you
in the
got a new
studio. I'm in the
contract.
studio screaming like, "Come on, man! He get the worst whistle."
At least I got you on my side, man.
Yeah, I'm on you. I got your back, bro.
Congrats on even
look at
signing
that.
what?
See that defense? Run that back. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
You know who requested this?
Take a guess.
Yeah, we got to have the Sam Hauser defensive
Get that
highlights.
down.
Are you kidding me?
That
Get
block.
that down.
Because everyone,
great.
for some reason, target. I still don't know the reason
Get
why
that
they
down.
target you. I don't know why, but they target
Actually,
you and you
if
get
we're going
stopped
to put
all the
someone on
time.
the spot, Austin Reeves kind of recently. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't. What did you say?
Breaking news. Austin Reeves said if there's one player who he could play against, who would it be? And he said, just play. I didn't say win, but he mentioned your name. What are
Playing
your
what,
thoughts?
basketball?
One-on-one.
Why me?
Basketball?
All right, yeah.
He's still getting disrespected.
I'm down. Like,
See,
we can
we
play.
just
See
upped
what
the
I'm
ante
talking
on
about?
I heard he's a good golfer,
I'm
too. I'll
stirring
take
up
him
the
on
pot.
golf course, too.
He did
What it
say
is,
play,
you just
not
look
be.
like a nice guy, clean cut. Look, you know what I mean? Like coming fresh from school. You know
Not
what I
when
mean?
you
Like
had
a
that 10
college
made
kid.
threes.
And so they think that you sweet. And you got, nah, we ain't rolling. I ain't rolling.
Now he's got the
Hey,
baby. It's
It is what it is. We just keep letting him think it, I guess.
Well,
Right,
you can
right.
have that in the back of your mind now when Celtics
Sure.
Lakers comes up on the calendar.
Sure, yeah, sure.
Brad was just over here talking about. I asked him about how he keeps guys engaged who are like just coming into the league, or guys who are on two ways, things like that. Which you've lived through that situation. When you're looking up at superstars like Jayson and Jaylen and Marcus Smart was here, and all these guys who are eating up all the minutes. How did you keep yourself engaged in believing that all the hard work was going to pay off eventually?
Yeah, I mean, well, it started with not getting drafted, just like an instant chip on the shoulder. And then when I got to camp, I just wanted to prove like that I'm a good player and I can make a way in this league somehow. And then also just being a sponge and learning and taking mental notes of how guys are building routines, what are they doing on a daily basis, like how the coaches look at, how you play offense or defense, just trying to be a sponge and learn, and then also getting better on the side. So I think I did a good job of that. I stayed fully engaged even when I knew I wasn't playing that night. Every huddle I was in there, I was listening. I was really engaged on the bench, getting up cheering for my teammates. I think all that just kind of led to, finding a role.
How were you able to remain as confident as you have been going undrafted from Virginia and then playing the way you've been able to play, being what you shot 42.2% on threes last year?
Every year.
Yeah, honestly. But to have that kind of unique background where you are amongst a lot of, quote unquote all-stars, but you yourself have generated your own confidence. How?
Yeah, I mean, just because you get drafted doesn't mean you're going to make it in this league. I mean, everybody has a different path, and mine was a little bit different than the standard, and I don't think that's a burden at all. I think that's just something I can appreciate, just this journey. So I've just tried to make the most of it, because I didn't know how long this journey was going to take or how long I'd be in this league, but I've just taking it step by step.
So they just ran this clip, right? And it just reminded me of something that I was thinking about, how you played last year versus how you played the year before that. It looked like you know exactly where you're going to get your shots from. You know where to run to, where they're going to find you. And it looks like your teammates are trusting you. Not that they didn't trust you the year before, but it looks like because you are in your spot, your confidence, and the ball finds energy. Is that something that you kind of like watch film and is like, okay, these are my spots where I know in this offense I'm gonna have an opportunity to knock down some shots?
Definitely, yeah. And I work a lot with Coach Craig Lucian, and we watch film after every single game. And a lot of the reps I get are spots where I'm shooting shots the most in the games. And obviously, throughout the last couple of years, just getting more familiar with playing with these guys and how they operate and how I can just space the floor for them, but also knowing like, oh, he's going to pass it right here and I got to be ready to shoot it. I think that all just comes with time, and it's been good to earn their trust, and hopefully it continues to grow.
Quick one before we let him go.
Yeah.
I got to ask, what led you to the decision to sign the extension?
Man,
The money.
I mean,
but the money could have been different somewhere else.
That money.
The money could have been even higher somewhere else. So that's what I'm asking. Is like,
We have to ask
what
everyone
made
without
you
the money.
Make that decision to stay.
it's just Boston's a special place, and having a chance to win every year was definitely a factor in what I was looking for the future. And I didn't know the number was going to be that big, and my eyes were pretty wide open when they said that number, but I'm really happy to be here, and just want to make the most of these next, I guess I got 5 years now
Awesome.
in Boston. So
You earned every penny.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Had a
Thank you.
hell of an off season.
Thank you.
Looking forward to meeting Teddy.
Teddy.
And looking forward to seeing you drop some more threes through the net.
Sir, appreciate
Sam,
you guys having me. Thank you.
congratulations.
Yep.
Thank you.
Continue
See ya.
to do your thing, and congrats on being a dad.
Thank you.
Sam Hauser, everybody. All right, C's fans, gear up for this season with 20% off select items today at Celtics.com/shop by using code Celtics20 at checkout. We have one player coming in, and we welcome the next.
Big fella,
This
what's
isn't
up?
a player. This is a legend.
This is a legend, a comedian, a legend.
He's
the
a leader.
Eclipse.
Daystream
What's
legend.
y'all crew? What's the
What
name of
names
y'all
you wanna
crew?
go by?
The Bus Boy. Are y'all? What's the name of y'all crew that y'all had?
We were the Bus One Boys. Then we were the Stay Ready group. It's yet to be determined what the future has in store and what this year has in store. It's got to come organically. You don't want to force these things.
You cannot force these things. How long does it typically take to find the right answer?
It's kind of like falling in love. You don't know when it'll happen.
But when
Is it like that? I don't think it really is like
waiting
that
for
at
the
all.
mic drop.
I don't know until I find something to commit to.
I
Also,
was waiting for you to finish the thought.
2 years before that, we had the Chamber of Secrets, but that's a little bit more.
Really?
That's,
I don't know if we heard about this.
There's a long lineage of.
We might need to
none
have
of
a
our
podcast
business,
about that.
Yeah.
Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah,
I don't know what's in there.
Yeah, I don't want to open it up either.
Hey, so
Yeah.
how has the off season been for you?
It's been a great offseason.
been up to?
I mean, honestly, just been kind of chilling at home and not really doing much. We had a little bit of travels. We did a little bit of the New England stuff. We went to New Hampshire. We went to Newport. We saw family a little bit, but honestly, we were kind of just here and chilling. And here's the thing: I grew up in Texas. It would be like 95 or 100, and it is so nice here in the summer. I got to say that.
It's like 85, sunny, not a ton of humidity.
Yeah, a lot of park time we had with the kids, which they're growing in their coordination and muscular development. So it's getting a little bit more exciting.
That's great. That's
step by
great.
step.
How you feeling about this season, coming into this season? Are we going to see the Kornet contest?
I mean, I think the contest is here to stay. I feel like it happened a little less than 2 years ago.
It
But then
did. You didn't do it
I-
last
upset
year.
me.
I tried guarding guys on the perimeter. But I'm excited for the year. I feel like I'm excited to get back to playing and having our group of guys. It's a lot of fun to play with. And I think just having the challenge of, obviously a lot of teams changing and getting better and just getting ready to kind of go through the crucible of the season again.
I feel like every guy that sits down, we have to ask them about why they chose to come back, because everyone's been signing
So go ahead,
extensions.
run it to him.
Yeah, you're one of those guys. You signed again as a free agent, and the team needs you. Kristaps Porzingis is going to miss the first few months of the season. What do you think your role is going to be during that time, and what do you want to provide the team while you're out there?
I think, frankly, it feels like no different than what I've been doing for the last several years here, and it's just kind of trying to fill the need and help our team win the game at hand. And
I mean, obviously, yeah, with KP being out for a little bit, I think that'll afford some opportunity. But I think we're just all about trying to win the game at hand, whatever that sort of takes, and helping our team get there is kind of what I'm here for and want to be here for. And it's kind of like the mindset I feel like we've had, and it kind of like helps you become the best player and the best team that you can be. So I definitely want to try to challenge myself in certain respects, but kind of whatever it takes to win is kind of the way to do that.
Luke, when you have a group like Al, like KP, where you have so much experience, different versatility, what do you take from those guys and moving forward into this season when, Marc just mentioned you do have a great opportunity in front of you where you are going to be out there?
Yeah, I mean, we're fortunate to have some great players on our team, and I mean, Al obviously just has been like a winner throughout his entire career in KP with his skills and the ability that he brings to really be able to present problems. But I feel like it's like a nice thing where we all kind of have our different ways of fitting in, but then at the same time all feeling kind of united to the group of like everyone's kind of bringing their individual skill set to whatever fits best. And even with Xavier and Neemias, like everyone kind of stepped up in this past year. And that's kind of the identity we want to have of just like whatever it takes and whoever is needed, fill that gap to the best you can and try to win the game in hand.
You know what I respect about you most? Being a career role player, a guy that some games wouldn't play, some games did play. Later in my career, played more than I did early on. And so to always be ready, and to have a joyful approach to the game all the time. You always were, and you're always engaged, always supportive. And I respect that because that's kind of like how I was. I felt the same way. Like, you itching to get out there. You got all this bottled up energy. But if you don't get out there, where do you put it at? You put it into your teammates. And you do that. So I respect that a whole lot.
And the fans erupt when you get out there, too.
No, thanks. I'm very fortunate, just kind of like where I've been at through my life of like, you kind of realize what you want the most is just like whatever it kind of takes to help win. And so I feel like the pressure kind of coming in, it gets a little bit less about like, what do I need to do for myself, but rather like, how can I help everybody else? And just being able to bring that kind of skill to the game. And I don't know, the crowd stuff and all that stuff, like, it's just a part of playing and actually like having fun and kind of feeling free from all that personal expectation in a way.
Eddie, on that note, Brad said this summer of you're the ultimate teammate, and his attitude and spirit have a contagious effect on our team. When you hear the president of the organization say that, what does that mean to you?
Well, that's just the president saying this in an election year.
He wants your vote.
It's very kind of appreciated. And honestly, I feel like with the group of guys and the players that we have on our team, it becomes really easy to just kind of want to like be a part of it and fit in. And I feel like everyone has such a high level of respect for each other that it's pretty easy to kind of fit in and feel free to do that.
Luke, what's your favorite part of your game? You hear all the nicknames and a lot of positivity surrounding who you are and what you bring to the floor, but what do you take pride in?
Honestly, I feel like the thing that I really do enjoy the most is when like you just feel very connected kind of on both ends of the floor, and you feel like you're kind of all just of one mind, and like those little moments where it's like just like a little pass or a little read or kind of like a little thing that sometimes you even start doing without communicating because you just like feel that connection with guys and understanding. I think I really appreciate those times, and those are the ones that at least to me like I really enjoy of like whether you both saw the same thing or you realize you weren't able to do it, but you both kind of know like all those little moments.
Is that when this comes out?
I don't know when that comes out.
It just happens.
Yeah, that's spontaneous and not prepared. Yeah.
So look, let me ask him this real quick. So I know how my mindset was, right, when I come off the bench. Like, for people that don't know, what is your mindset? Like I said, some games you might not play, and some games you out there and you have the same amount of energy. You bring it all the time, whether you're on the court or not on the court. What's your mindset going into a game if you know that you're going to play or don't know you're going to play?
It's definitely different. I feel like, and I know you'd understand, like, it's also so much different between when you're starting versus coming off the bench, just in terms of, like, I feel like when you're starting and you know, like, all right, we're going to be a part of this game, and I'll be coming out and coming back in, and, like, you kind of feel part of, like, the competing game. Whereas sometimes when you're coming in, you know it's just going to be for, like, one large spurt, and you're sort of hoping to make the most of that, whatever ends up happening, and there's so many moving parts around you. That is just kind of like, you try to just come in with like all the energy that you have, because like you kind of just try to hit the ground running. But like, it is funny, like no matter what, I feel like when you're kind of checking in, every time you're checking in, there's a little part of you that's like, ooh, let's see how this actually feels. Like you never really know when you're seeing the game going on, but I think at that point, kind of like the connection thing really does sort of take over, and you just find your place within everybody else and try to do that well.
Do you use your time on the bench to kind of figure out how you're going to be able to affect the game? That's kind of like what my approach was. Coming off the bench, I'm looking at like, oh, I see how he's playing the pick and roll. I could come off, get my shot, or they're trapping me real hard. I could kick it. We get that post up. We looking for, oh, he can't guard dude on the post. We're going to call punch as soon as I get in. Like those type of things. I think it's an advantage sometimes being on the bench where you could read the game and see how the game's unfold and how the referee's calling the game.
Yeah, no, you definitely can, and I feel like, there's a lot of times we just like start seeing and knowing where you're going to be and just getting more familiar with teams over time too. You're like, you start knowing like what kind of game it's going to be for you, whether they're switching or like drops or whatever that kind of thing is. So I do feel like it gives you the ability to sort of know what you're going to have to do and just kind of being attentive to what's happening so you can kind of hit it, trying to do like kind of throw your fastball at the beginning versus like feeling it out. Like that's definitely a part of it, and it is a nice part, honestly, of not starting, where you just can kind of feel the pace of the game before you're going in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Luke, you are such a joy to be with here and also to watch on the floor. We're really excited to see you go out and have yourself another year. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Awesome. Thanks.
Let me
Good
leave
luck,
you
man.
with one stat, too.
Oh.
You are one of 4 players last season who shot 100% from three-point range.
Okay.
And I know that means a lot to you for a guy who came in as a shooter.
70-190 club. I don't know if there's any other members.
It's true.
It's true.
There hasn't been anybody. You were the first ever.
Yeah, quality over quantity. That's what they say.
Hey, it counts.
Although the quality and quantity when you're sitting here, there's no doubt about that. Yes, I know.
Come on.
I know.
We're looking for another
That's my
nickname
good friend
this
Luke
year, right?
Kornet.
Another nickname in the
Good luck
books.
this season.
Appreciate you, Luke.
Have a good camp.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck, bro.
Awesome. Luke Kornet, really appreciate you taking the time. Mark, read it off for us.
Let's go. The Celtics' path to a championship started with dominant home court advantage, and they need you again this season in their quest for Banner 19. Celtics tickets are on sale to your favorite matchups now at Celtics.com/ticks. And now we are blessed to have one of the newest members of the Boston Celtics, Lonnie Walker, joining us right now.
The fourth.
The fourth. Don't forget the fourth.
The fourth. How's the day been so far? First media day here with the Celtics. It's different everywhere you go. So what's it been like here in Boston?
It's been great, to say the least. I'm around a ton of great guys, great personalities, great characteristics. So, it makes the transition very seamless.
We've got a table of announcers here who are going to be saying your name all season. Do you want us to say the fourth?
You can say whatever you want to say.
Is it on the jersey?
We got to know what you want.
It's on the jersey.
It's on the jersey.
All right.
I'm an upgrade version of my pops,
There we go.
Upgrade version.
We'll cut that. We won't show them that part.
You have been getting the Boston experience. I'm weird for looking at everyone's Instagram, but you were at the Sox game last night.
I was at the Sox
How was
game
that?
last night. It was great. Got a lot of superstitious Red Sox fans, so we were down 0-2. When I left my seat, came back. I just bought a David Ortiz jersey, and then we went up like 6-2, 8-2. And I was like, all right, I got to go to the bathroom. They're like, don't you dare.
You can't leave.
Don't you dare leave that seat,
He's saying we are ready. He's saying we are ready for Boston. I like
Okay, so you got the Big Poppy jersey. You got to make that appearance in these tunnel walks.
Absolutely.
Okay.
For sure.
That's what's up. How are you liking Boston so far? And just the Celtics organization. I know it's very new to you. You're just here, but what's your experience?
The experience has been amazing, to say the least. I mean, this is a championship organization. You guys won a championship last year, obviously, and the program and everyone that is a part of it has made it real easy for me. To say the least, I haven't really been given the opportunity to enjoy or visit Boston, as I'm on an E10, so I really just been coming to work in the morning and then coming back at night, sticking to my routines day to day, pounding a rock, just not trying to skip no steps. Just trying to be mentally and physically prepared for whatever might happen this season.
And speaking of what might happen this season, what do you think that your role will be for this team?
Second unit guy, microwave scorer. I can obviously score in a plethora of different ways, but in order for me to even get a few minutes or earn my minutes, it's going to come from the defensive side. So doing the little things, defensive rebound, offensive rebound, defense, and just bringing that energy consistently.
I know a couple ways that you can make an impact on this team, and it's in the numbers, and it's right up the alley with Eddie because he did the same thing. Corner threes, over 40%, basically your whole career. Catch and shoot threes, over 40% last year, and those were more than half of your attempts from the field last year were catch and shoot threes. What has led you to be such a precise three-point shooter here over these last couple of seasons?
Just putting the work in. I think the more sacrifice, the more time that you put in off the court, as far as your work ethic, it'll prove on the court. And that's something that I rely on. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have discipline and consistency off court and trying to be the best of your capability, you're never going to get to where you want to get to. So I'm just locked in onto the court, honestly.
I got to imagine that when Brad called and talked to you and your agent, that he had that envision, right? He must have talked to you about how those skills in particular are going to fit in around these other guys like Jaylen and Jayson and Jrue and Kristaps. Like, is that the conversation that occurred?
Yeah, close to it.
Yeah.
I think for the most part of it, I'm still on an E10. I'm not on a guaranteed contract yet. So right now I'm really just trying to earn, that guaranteed contract, and really just play to the best of my capabilities.
Lonnie, what amazes me about you is where you came from, Reading, PA, and having to go through adversity. I watched your documentary and your dad's effect on you and not having a whole lot growing up. How has that shaped you into the man, into the player that you are?
It keeps me just, humble, hungry, and blessed, to say the least. Understanding, there's times where when you get to the bottom, you got to find ways to pick yourself back up. And that's something that I've consistently done throughout my lifetime, and I'm not afraid to keep on going through that. My dad has instilled a tremendous work ethic within myself, that allows me to have so much confidence going into the court, going into playing against, the best players in the world. And, adversity is something that has really shaped me up, mentally and physically, so when it comes to almost anything, I'm prepared for whatever might happen.
And given your contract situation, when you do have that background, when you do have that adversity that you've been through, and a dad who's been able to kind of teach you the ways, I saw the box jumps that you would do outside your home.
Yeah.
How can you use that to your advantage when you are among all-stars and an NBA championship team, but for you to seize your opportunity?
Honestly, just controlling the controllables, leave it all up to God, to say the least. With God on your side, how can you lose, So I consistently just try to give it all 110%, whether it's, okay, we coming back at night, how many shots are we getting, how efficiently are we shooting these shots, are they game shots, are we, so I'm very honing in on the side of really putting in the work and allowing my work to just do all the talking.
Where'd you get that control the controllables? Because that's something I tell my kids all the time. Like, that's all you can do is focus on that. And you said everything that I say to my kids and to myself. Control the controllables and put God first. He'll take care of everything if you do the right things. So I want to say a salute to that right there.
Thank
I
you
like
so
that.
much.
You got drafted by the Spurs,
Yes,
right?
sir.
What was that like when you got that phone call from Pop?
One of the best feelings, honestly. To be drafted into a situation where they have a championship mindset, they have the professionalism mindset going into my rookie year. It means a lot, because you don't know how to handle the NBA or how to go about the NBA. And I would say going to the Spurs really taught me how to be a professional, how to, handle things, how to handle adversity. I tore my meniscus my first year, my rookie year, and that was something that I had to bounce back from. So they really taught me, really the overall aspect of being a professional, how to last long in the league, and just being a good teammate.
And you know how big that is? Because I got drafted by Miami, right? And so my first 3 years, Pat Riley was my coach. And I remember that phone call was surreal when he called me. And to your point, that's exactly what professional organizations, A1 organizations do. Like, this is an A1 organization. They're going to develop their players. They're going to teach them how to be a professional. Because when you're coming in as a rookie, you get some money. You don't know how to be a pro. We see a lot of guys come in and fall right off because they're not in the right situation. So for the Spurs to draft you, they've seen a whole lot in you, not only talent-wise, but maturity and being somebody that they could lean on, because they don't draft anybody. It's a certain player that can play for the Spurs. The same way it's only a certain type of players that could play for the Miami Heat and a certain type of players that could play for this organization. And I'm glad you're here, brother.
Well, we just talked about, with Brad Stevens being very intentional and selective of the guys that he brings into this organization. So how does it feel to know that you're, selected by a genius that cares about
the mastermind?
It's a I would say to an extent it's a bittersweet, to say the least. Obviously I'm not where I want to be. As far as guaranteed contracts and being a part of a team and finding a home, but to be a part of a championship organization and understanding that sooner or later preparation will meet the opportunity. I'm mentally and physically prepared for that moment, whether it's 10 games, 20 games, you name it. I'm just ready for my name to be called and to play to the best of my capability.
Lonnie Walker, we are
Good luck.
the fourth.
Yes,
Good luck, man.
The fourth.
The fourth. We're so excited to see you go out there
Thank
and do
you so
your
much.
thing.
Great
Thank you so much
man.
for taking
Enjoy
the time.
the rest of the day. We'll see you at camp.
Y'all have a blessed day.
You as well.
It's cool. It's cool to see all these guys, hear what they're doing, and how they're preparing for the upcoming season. All right, interested in becoming a Celtics season ticket member? You should be. Take the first step by joining the wait list. You'll get priority access to ticket plans when they become available. Visit Celtics.com/waitlist to learn more. We talk about one mastermind. We have another mastermind joining us here
There he
today who had himself a well-deserved time on the duck boat and also making his way here already, preparing for the next season. I did hear head coach Joe Mazzulla. Thank you for taking the time to be here.
How are you? How's
Did
it
hear that you were kind of game planning for the upcoming season on the duck boat. Is that true?
I mean, we were chanting defense just because I think it's an important identity to have, and I think the same level of intensity that the parade brought is the level of intensity that you need to have throughout a season. So there was definitely a connection there that's important.
Before we get into the basketball part of this, it's really cool to see you going to Patriots game, kind of getting that off-season, excitement and adventure. What's the off-season been like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been kind of said it before. It's been moments of attachment and detachment, right? Like you have to have an understanding of what you accomplish, but at the end of the day, you have to move on to accomplishing something different. And I think going into different competitive environments like a Patriots game, like a tennis match, allows you to kind of see the mental approach and the things that go into either winning and losing. And so I think the more you can put yourself in an environment of kind of testing that, it kind of prepares you. And so a lot of lessons learned, and there's also great times.
So you talking with Patriots head coach Gerard Mayo. What was the conversation? Did you give any advice on what it takes to win a championship?
No, I mean, he's won. He's been a part of some great ones. It was really more about the connections, and so really intrigued by the way they plan their practices, kind of the organizational approach towards a practice plan, how they go into kind of breaking down 3 phases of the game. We have 3 phases: offense, defense, special situations, and then how they really structure their staff based on who's communicating what and how they do it. So he was gracious enough to kind of spend some time with me in there. Really grateful for that, and I think he's obviously going to do a great job just because of his humility and his relationship management top to bottom. It's something that I picked up from him in that time.
I like your hoodie, by the way. Is that a new one or is that?
Yeah, it's a new one. I just got it the other day.
Oh, Andy, where you? Andy, I need one of them, baby.
Is there a T-shirt hiding
This
under
is a
there?
marketing show too, by the way.
There is a T-shirt.
Yeah. Was it? Is it one that you had?
It's blank.
Made? Okay.
It's blank.
So when did you literally switch gears and say, okay, last year's done, it's over with. I need to really focus on this new, a couple new players that's coming in this roster that we have together and making sure that they stay locked in and focused. And what is your approach to that? I know last year you brought in those guys, they was holding their breath, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
So that's a great question. It was never like I'm moving on, right? I think it's just always you have to take a balanced approach towards what leads to success and what leads to failure. So, throughout the entire offseason, you're just studying not just last season, but you're studying seasons prior. Like, what was the difference between these seasons? Like, the thing about being here is it's so easy to forget about all the other teams who compete at such a high level. And the one thing I learned as soon as the horn went off was like, just because we won doesn't make us better than another Celtics team that's competed here. It doesn't make us any different. We're all the same. We carry on this tradition and this responsibility towards success. So it's about studying what goes well, what doesn't go well, what leads to winning, what leads to losing. And when you don't have the time, when you don't have the opportunity to do that during a season, you got to go to other things to see that. So I think you're just in a constant state of studying what leads to winning, what leads to losing, and then how do you develop the themes and the concepts that can test those things on a daily basis, so you're working to make those habits.
One of the things that I enjoy about you most is that you see things in a unique perspective, and you're not afraid of bringing that either to your team or to the public or whatever that is, whoever's in front of you. My biggest question is, how do you get other people to buy into those perspectives if they aren't necessarily the perspective that is set in their mind at that moment?
Well, I mean, I think that's part of the relationship management pieces. You want to pick things that other people are relatively interested in. You can't just go do something, right? So I think it's just the environment we're trying to create of self-expression. I want every time a player or an employee or a staff member comes into the building, they should feel comfortable that we're building a connection towards what's important to them. At the same time, we got to pick some things that I think the standard is greatness. The standard is long-term long-term success. Here are some other arenas where long-term success is being tested on a daily basis. We can obviously learn from that. So we got to have the humility to learn from it.
Coach, kind of back to what you were saying about how you look at each season. When you evaluate the previous year and then go into what you saw last season and how you guys won, what does stick out to you on tape?
Yeah, obviously we had a different team, so we had a different identity. We played a little bit of a different way. But I think everything comes down to having a shared mental approach, towards the process of winning and trying to keep that. And, making great decisions under duress, I think is the biggest thing, is can you maintain the same level of competitive nature, the mental toughness, the things that go into winning. One of the things we studied this whole summer was like all the things that lead to losing. And the things that lead to losing are very simple things that just aren't being able to be executed under high amounts of duress. And so the goal every year is to redevelop the mindset of, can we execute simplicity under duress? And we're constantly being tested in that, and that's, how long can we do that for?
I'm going to circle back to Mark's question, where you were talking about the perspective of somebody might have a different perspective. How do you make them believe in it? I think it starts with trust. Al Horford was up here earlier, and we were talking about his minutes, and I was like, man, I know you're a competitor. When Joe came to you, I know you was like, damn, come on, coach. But then he said he trusts you, right? And he trusts the staff and what your decisions are. So I don't think it's that hard when you have that trust, that everybody trusts you, you're a leader of men, that whatever perspective, they'll at least listen. And I think that to me is where you're at, is all of these guys, when I talk to them, they all love you. They all talk so highly of you. And then people around the organization talk highly of you. That just says that, they trust you. Brad trusts you. You know what I mean? You trust Brad. And I think that's where it all starts. And then your star players, your main guys, and then your main vets also trust you. That makes it so much easier for your message to be received from the rest of the team.
Yeah, trust is the ultimate thing. And listen, it really starts with the character and the talent of your team. Like, if you don't have talent and you don't have high character talent, you can't be great. And I'm glad you said that, because for however long I'm here, I've been deemed with one of the greatest gifts a coach at any level can have, and it's the trust of their players. And our staff, we can't be anything if our players don't trust us. And so it starts with the character and the talent, and it starts with their willingness to trust us. And you can't abuse that. I think that's the longevity of a coach comes down to just having an understanding of, it's about the players, and you have to constantly earn that trust. I'm grateful that they do. I'll be forever grateful for them for that, but you got to earn it every day, and the staff's got to earn it every day. And I think that's kind of what we try to do.
Do you think that, because I played for a coach and been there for the message might fall on deaf ear. Do you work on that? Like, okay, I'm not going to say the same thing that I've said before. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come with a different approach. It's the same message, pretty much, but you're saying it in a different way so they can receive it.
I think sometimes not having a message is a message.
Okay.
And I think it's really important to know, and it'll be different this year. Every year is different. The timing of your communication is the most important. It could either bring the team closer, it could not move the team at all, or it could bring the team further apart. And I think the number one job of a coach throughout a long NBA season is knowing when to have a message and when to really just shut up. And because of the character and the talent of the guys, I spent a lot more time saying I really don't need to say much. And so I think that's the gray area that you have to win, is you got to know when to shut up and when to talk.
Well,
but
Joe,
again, the players.
No one to shut up, no one to talk.
Yeah, so I should drop the mic right now.
We're done for the show.
Never shut up. We enjoy hearing your perspective.
No, thank
Thanks
you.
for coming by.
Yeah.
Good luck this season, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys on the court tomorrow.
Again, the character and the talent of the guys is nothing better that we have here.
Brought a lot of them back, too, so congratulations on that
Thank
front.
you.
Good luck, Coach.
Coach Mazzulla, everybody. Thank you for your time.
All right, folks, looking for ways to stay in the game and boost your fandom? Sign up to receive text messages from the Boston Celtics and be the first to know about new offers, content, sweepstakes, and more. Visit Celtics.com/text to opt in.
This is the day in the life of Baylor Scheierman. I'm learning a lot from everybody, players included, so it's been a great experience so far. Yep. I played him at Villanova. You know him. Yeah. Yep.
Scheierman gonna drive. Scheierman for three.
But once I kind of settled in, it was good from there. But it was just a lot of fun to get out there and play someone new.
Well, you saw him out there, and you can see him here, the 30th overall pick from Creighton. We have Baylor Scheierman here joining us today. First and foremost, welcome to Boston. How's it going? How
Welcome
you feeling?
to Media Day.
Welcome to Media
That's a good
Day.
start.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to the Celtics.
Exactly. It's been great. Enjoyed my time out here so far, and obviously Media Day is the signal of a new season, and I'm just excited to get my rookie year underway.
What was that call like when you got that call and heard your name?
Yeah, it was a pretty surreal moment. Obviously, like the draft, they don't talk about draft night being like super nervous like the whole time. I was kind of wondering where I was going to get picked, and as soon as that phone rang, it was just a crazy feeling knowing that all the work I put up to this point, paid off, and just an exciting feeling.
Who was on the other line? Was it Brad or was it Joe?
It was Brad.
It was Brad.
Yeah, it was Brad.
That's a good call.
And yeah, what was that like knowing that it was the genius
Yeah.
calling you?
Yeah,
Like,
it meant, yeah.
He doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah.
He has not missed since he moved into this role.
Yeah, it meant a lot. Me and him had a lot of conversations in the pre-draft process, and so just getting that call from him meant a lot because, like you said, he's the best at what he does. So.
Well, interestingly, and I don't know if you guys know this, and I think I'm right on this, you worked out for the Celtics in 2022, right, when you were going through the draft process. So how much did that help you? You went through this organization and saw what they do in their workouts coming into this year, and clearly you impressed them enough to want to draft you.
Yeah, I think, obviously the more times you do something, the more comfortable you're doing it. And obviously I went through the draft process after my junior year at South Dakota State and kind of just knew what to expect going into the workout coming back this last year. And so I was able to just go in with a great mindset and honestly just have a great workout.
And you parlayed that into Summer League. What was that first experience like going through that whole process? You get like 3 days to learn your teammates and practice before you go out to Vegas. What was that like?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Obviously, getting to know some of your teammates and getting to just play again and play in an NBA-style game. It was just a lot of fun, and I enjoyed my time out in Vegas.
And you got better and better, it felt like, as it went on. And you said you called some of his games, or at least one of his games in college. But one thing that stood out to me that I did not know about you before I watched you was your passing ability.
Yeah.
When did that develop in your game? Because I look at the numbers, I'm like, okay, three-point shooter, that's what this guy's going to do. But you can see the court and pass.
Yeah, it kind of started when I was younger, kind of in middle school. My favorite player of all time is Pistol Pete, and so watching him and just kind of how he passes, kind of with a little bit of a
that's connected generations right there.
That's a throwback for a youngster, man.
Yeah.
Man, you might as well say Bob Cousy.
Yeah, I know. Growing up, I had this movie called The Pistol, Birth of a Legend, kind of talking about his experience in high school, and I watched that so many times growing up. So yeah, that's kind of where my passing flair of the game kind of came from. He's my favorite player, and then I played quarterback in high school as well.
No. You didn't just play quarterback in high school, okay? You own the single season state record for the most pass yards, 3,924 to be exact.
In Nebraska,
59 TDs in Nebraska history. You also led your high school to a 13-0 season. So was it really, that was your senior year?
Yeah,
that's how he knew how to pass. Come on, man.
He's the new QB1 for the Celtics.
Right. The Patriots. How?
Let's not go there.
Did you see how I kind of went down? How did you decide that you were going to go the basketball route over football? Because you're a stud football player.
Yeah, basketball was kind of always my first love, what I always wanted to do growing up. And football didn't kind of come to fruition until later on. And by that point, I was already kind of committed to South Dakota State, and that's what I always wanted to do. So.
Were you recruited for football?
Kind of late a little bit. I took a visit to Nebraska. Some mid-major FCS schools reached out, but I was really committed to basketball. Nebraska wanted me to play tight end at the time.
Really?
And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
You're like, do you know I just threw for 4,000?
Yeah. When I seen you, when I called your game, you weren't like, you didn't have that on you.
Up a bit?
Yeah, you look like you didn't put some weight on. About what, 15?
Yeah, I put on probably about 20 pounds. Yeah. Especially since you saw me out there. So yeah, I definitely worked on my body a lot, and that's a big emphasis for me. Coming into this new league, obviously, I'm the best athletes, the most strong individuals, and so I definitely have put in a lot of time to that part of my game.
When you get some time on the court, right, when your number is called, what are you So for people that maybe don't know your game, what can they expect? What can they expect to see from?
Yeah, I think just the biggest thing is I just like to compete. You know, whether that's diving on the ground for a loose ball, taking a charge, jumping over a chair like I did at Summer League, you know, getting a loose ball, just doing whatever it takes to win, whether that's rebounding, shooting, playmaking. At the end of the day, I just want to win.
Apparently, I like reading your stat line, but you are a well-versed player. You know, the first men's basketball player in D1 history with at least over 2,000 points, 1,200 rebounds, 580 steals, 356 threes.
That's work.
Right. What more? Or how would you evaluate and assess your game to this point? What do you want to work on as well?
Yeah. Well, I think you can always continue to sharpen up your game, but I think for me, a lot of it is just defensively, trying to become, you know, more explosive, a little quicker, just learn the schemes, learn the tricks, to be able to, you know, defend at a high rate at this league. Because at the end of the day, if you want to be on the court, you got to be able to defend. So,
you said shortly after the draft process, I think it was out at Summer League, that one of the things about this organization that you know coming in is that they develop players.
Yeah.
Like there's something about this development program that works. And you can look up to guys and see them right there. Like Luke Kornet is right there. Sam Hauser is right there. Those are guys that you can touch and talk to and understand their experience. So what is your mindset going into that development program that might wind up with you taking some trips to Maine? It might wind up with you not playing a whole lot with this team. Maybe it does. But what's your approach to this season from that standpoint?
I'm just trying to learn as much as I can from everybody. Like you said, you know, Boston has a great history of developing players, and obviously Sam and Luke. And I'm just looking to, you know, take in all the information and be a sponge and just learn as much as I can from them and apply it to myself, apply it to the game, and try to just get better and grow.
Have you learned any of those things? Like, Eddie, these guys have been running for the last week or two up here. Have you learned anything yet, just being around them?
Yeah, I think just one of the biggest things is just developing a routine, just a daily routine of, you know, pre-court, after court, how you take care of your body is really big, because obviously the season is a lot longer than what I'm accustomed to.
That's a fact.
And the travel and everything. So
hopefully until mid-June.
Yeah, exactly. So,
is there anybody that is in the league now? I know you talked about Pistol Pete, that you watched him. He's your favorite player. Is there anybody in the league now or a former player that used to play that you kind of like, okay, I take a little piece of his game, take a little piece of this game. I really like how he plays, and try to incorporate into yours?
I mean, I think I have a few. I mean, I like Luke Kornet. I liked watching him. Yeah, I like watching him a lot. I honestly like Austin Reeves a lot too. Obviously, he plays with the ball a lot more, but just his competitiveness and his ability to affect the game in different
We can't like him no more. You know why? He said he wanted to play Sam Hauser.
Oh, that's true.
Like he said he could beat him when playing one-on-one, so you got to have Sam back.
In fairness to that quote, he said he
is now a villain in Boston.
He didn't say that he would beat him, but we know what it all means.
You don't call nobody out. You don't feel like you could.
Villain status. He was already there because he plays for that team, but. Hey, what can you say about playing with his son?
Yeah, I really enjoyed playing with his son. He's just like you said, a competitor, plays fast, which that's, you know, kind of how I like to play as well. But overall, you know, a good teammate, likes to get other people involved. So I really enjoyed my time with Jaylen for sure.
I like watching that team play this summer.
Yeah, it was live. It was fun.
Yeah,
he had a good time.
Yeah, he did.
What advice would you give to Baylor and any of these kind of new guys here joining this type of organization? What advice would you give them?
Save your money.
Great advice. He's so serious too.
Save your money. Yeah. You know what I mean? A lot of guys get out this league and don't got no paper. They made all the money in the world, you know, took care of all these people, keep your circle small. Don't let, you know what I mean? You got to say no. Yeah. Learn to say no. You know, that's the one thing, because your family going to be yanking. Yeah. I don't know what kind of family you come from, but I know mine was asking everything. You know, hey, could I get a couple dollars here? Could I get a, nah, nope. Yeah. You know, I started off giving it, but then you start looking like, ooh, ain't nobody kicking back in. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm only getting older. Let me start tucking this.
For sure.
Yeah, save your money, man.
Only thing you don't say no to is when we request to sit down and talk to you.
Yeah, please.
All right. That's lesson number one.
Baylor, last question from me. How do you want Boston for you to go into this season, this preseason? How do you want to make a statement?
I think it's just like I said, just competing, just showing I'm willing to compete, defend, do whatever it takes to win, whether that's diving on the floor, you know, getting offensive rebounds. I mean, the reality of the situation is that we got a great team with a lot of guys, everybody back, and so just doing the little things to try to make an impact is how I can, you know, fit in.
Have you had any rookie duties yet?
I haven't yet, no.
No.
It's coming, though. It's coming.
We'll be the first to report it.
Yeah.
Get back to us.
It's coming.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Baylor Scheierman, thank you so much for your time. Congrats.
Good luck, man.
Getting drafted here. Awesome.
See you tomorrow.
So cool getting to see all these guys joining us here for Celtics Media Day. Looking for ways to stay in the game and boost your fandom? Sign up to receive text messages from the Boston Celtics and be the first to know about new offers, content, sweepstakes, and more. Visit Celtics.com/text to opt in.
What's up, Anton?
What up?
We got Celtics
Anton
draft
Watson.
pick
What
Anton
up?
Watson.
He looked like a stretched out version of Jaylen.
Low-key,
Yeah, you do. You look like a stretched out version of my son.
You doing a double take there?
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
Is that him?
Hey, we just went from one player who played with his son this summer. Now we've got another one. What was the experience like on that team?
It was fun. Yeah, it was kind of new experience coming to the NBA, kind of new playing style, but yeah, it was cool. Yeah.
What did you take from the experience that you kind of want to take into your rookie season here?
Just me personally, individually, like bringing effort, trying to get boards, just doing the little things that I usually do, and then being aggressive on the offensive end.
Yeah, I was going to ask you for people that might not be familiar with your game. I ask this to all the rookies whenever they come. Like, somebody not familiar with your game, what can the fans expect from you, night in and night out?
Yeah, I feel like at Gonzaga, I was mostly blue-collar kind of player. Got steals, got rebounds, kind of helped the offense flow. And then towards my last year, I was more aggressive offensively. So, any role I get put in, I feel like I can adjust. And with good players, I feel like it just makes me play better.
At Gonzaga, got a hell of a coach, Mark Few. How was that playing for him, and how did he develop? Like, what did he do to develop you?
Yeah, he just, has so much knowledge of the game. He's been at Gonzaga and kind of built that whole program. And,
Juggernaut.
Yeah, he's a good coach, good dude. And, he really develops the players, and assistants are all great. That's my family back home.
So good that he's an Olympic assistant coach as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a question for you about where you think you land in terms of a position in the NBA, because a lot of people looked at you coming out of college, you were a wing, but then we see you in Summer League, you're playing more of a power forward, like big man type role. So where do you think you slot in this league at this level?
Yeah, I think the power forward is probably going to be my main position, but I can get thrown into that 5 and play small ball, big, and even
stretch
3.
the floor a little bit.
Even the 3 guard. I think I can guard a lot of guards and disrupt that. So, I think 3 through 5 I can play that.
Versatility, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
Brad and
you
Joe
were able to
love
show
that.
a lot of that in Summer League. How would you assess that experience? I mean, 11.8 points per game. You had 5 rebounds on average, a few assists as well. How would you assess yourself?
I felt like I did good. I kind of had the plan of being aggressive and looking for my 3. I got a lot of 3s up and got to the cup, and playing with these guys, they made it easy for me. I got a couple good easy looks, and yeah, it was super fun.
This is a team that really likes to shoot the ball, so I think that
especially
may work towards
threes.
your
Yeah,
favor.
I think that'll fit in well.
Yeah.
What do you want to improve on specifically going into this year?
I think just my mentality going towards the season, and it's going to be a long season, so keeping my mental health right, and yeah, basketball-wise, 3-point shooting, that's the biggest thing. They tell me it every day. If I turn down a shot, they're going to be mad. So
They're going to make you run?
Yeah, let it go. Let the shot go.
When you step onto the floor tomorrow, and I'm sure you've already been doing it, you're going to try to soak up everything you can from every single veteran who's on this team. But every year, a rookie kind of gravitates to some certain guys. They kind of go in and they know I want to be around that guy and learn from him. Is there anyone who stands out in your mind that you just want to be around and learn from in particular?
Honestly, all of them. They're all good
That's
dudes.
the easy answer. Come on,
I know,
Anton.
but yeah.
He's been trained to say it. Come on, Mark.
You did media training,
I'm
didn't
serious,
you?
though. But
All of them.
the obvious answer is probably Al, just because similar positions and just the way he plays the game. He makes good reads. I feel like I can do a little bit of that.
How cool is that? Because here is a guy who is, the second oldest maybe, the NBA player in the league.
You're 38?
Yeah,
Or
38. Who is
season 38 in terms of age.
38.
Yes,
who has dealt with all of this experience. He knows what it's like to play with a bunch of different guys, has been on losing teams, been on winning teams, and now he's here getting to, I don't know if he looks at it as mentor, but how do you explain that relationship that he provides when new guys step in?
Yeah, he's just a great mentor, great person to look up to. He's been in the league for a long time. I feel like once you get in the league, you don't really know which direction to go, and if you need help, you know, he's one of those guys that's going to help you along the way. So, yeah, just what he's done for the past 20 years, it's kind of crazy. And, you know, he's right next to my locker, so I have a lot of questions for him.
That's a good place to be.
Got a wise guy right next to you.
Learn from the OG.
Yeah.
For real.
You ready for this two-way experience of going to Maine and coming back to the Celtics? It's a lot of miles you're going to put on that car, whatever you're going to take back and forth. But it's a learning experience, and a lot of guys have really they figured it out because of it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be crazy. It's going to take me time to adjust, but I'm definitely going to figure out how to deal with it, and you know, I'm just excited to play wherever I go. I'm gonna play.
We're excited to see you.
Yeah.
All right, Anton, we appreciate you coming by.
Good luck.
Thanks,
and
y'all.
now we're
Thanks
going to
for your
have
time.
Jrue Holiday stepping onto the set. This guy was kind of important to the championship run last season, huh? Number 4?
Wait, this must be a full circle moment for both of you, because the last time you both were here at Media Day, the news broke, right?
I got a bone to pick with this guy.
What's up,
Look,
y'all?
I was on the plane.
What'd I do?
I was on the plane when the news broke.
You were on the plane.
And I was like, yeah.
Jrue, we're having
Everybody
a
looked
full
at me like I
circle
was
moment.
crazy.
All right.
The reason
What up, Drew?
The reason I got
What's
a bone to
happening?
pick with you is because you were here last year, but you didn't come to our station.
I
so
didn't
this
do
is
it.
the
He
first.
couldn't. He barely made it through the door.
I just
Even
made
it wasn't efficient.
I just made it through security. Yeah. I
He
literally
barely made it to the locker room.
He was behind like a black drape taking his pictures and stuff
Trying to
because
tell
it
you.
wasn't official and everything.
No offense to y'all, best media day I've ever had.
Yeah, I bet.
Nice and easy, right?
Had to skip it.
Yeah, best I
But
ever had.
in reality, it was chaos last year. You just got traded like the day before. You're coming in, you're meeting all these guys, trying to integrate yourself into the system. How much different does it feel this time, especially sitting here with us?
Yeah, this is a lot more normal. Being able to kind of just take your time and know that like physicals and stuff is passed. The trade is actually through.
Yep.
Coming off a win is also something that's like, I mean, not many
You're
people.
used to that.
Not many people get to do.
A couple
that in
wins, actually.
times.
Congratulations on the gold medal,
Yeah.
by the
Thank you,
way.
thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you, appreciate
hell of a
it.
song.
Time.
Unbelievable
Thank you.
couple months.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've had a cool couple months. Yeah,
That's an understatement.
No, I'm excited to be back and to get started again.
Do I dare even ask what your favorite? It's hard to think about what your favorite moment or part is. Winning an NBA championship, winning gold again. What's your favorite?
I think the championship is definitely my favorite. Being able to experience like Boston at its peak and the fans was crazy. The parade was crazy. The day was like perfect. The weather was perfect.
Right?
So it was like,
Yeah.
you couldn't ask for better. That was my favorite. But winning an Olympic gold, going against France in France, how it went down, how the game went down. That was also quite enjoyable.
That
But
was
look,
riveting.
though, you had to, when y'all was going in, you know y'all was winning the gold. Come on.
I mean,
You know what I'm
It's just
saying?
an
Never doubted
exhibition
it.
game
Yeah,
that they
right. You
take
never, you
lightly.
like we getting gold.
Never doubted
the NBA championship. Even though we believe it, it's such a grind. 82 games,
sure.
and then you got to win 16 more at
For
the end of
sure.
the season. That to me, like you were saying, that and then the parade and enjoying all that is. Well, when I won it, it was more satisfying because I didn't get no gold medal, but
Right.
if I was on the team, I know we gonna get one. You
Right.
know what I mean? But that whole grind, that grit and grind of it, and just how you guys did it last year, how are you looking forward to doing the same thing with the same guys? Because you know how it is.
Yeah.
You win championship, guys start getting plucked away.
For sure.
You've got a new team.
For
well,
sure.
the guys are coming back together, so it's got to be feeling good to have the same unit to try to do something special again.
Yeah, and already having that chemistry, knowing going into training camp that even though we did win, there are things that we can improve on. Obviously, getting everybody back healthy, and even to your point, like I feel like as a kid, I dreamt of winning the NBA championship. Like that was one of the things that like I watched growing up in LA, seeing the Laker riots and all that. Because you know what I'm saying? Because they won.
Oh, jeez.
Like
Probably didn't dream of being in green
Sorry about that.
at that time.
It's all right. You got us one.
Yeah. Hopefully,
matters.
He bleed green now.
Hopefully more than one.
Yeah.
Hopefully more than one.
Yeah.
But,
UCLA won too.
yeah. So it was I think winning that championship was definitely something that like it was something that like dreams are made of in a corny kind of way. So.
You
That ain't
said
corny.
you were talking. No, it's not corny at all. You were talking about the experience of like in the city and feeling this place like light up.
I mean,
and it was
it's still
16
like
years
it.
in the
It's like
making.
it to this day. Bro.
Yeah,
Walking outside and doing things, it's like people still saying thank you and feeling like they're a part of it, which they were. I mean, they were from preseason, first game of the preseason. They were like
there, showed up, loudest crowd I've ever been a part of. So
that's one of the things people say about Boston. When you win here, they don't say congratulations. They say thank you.
Yeah.
They say thank you because what you did for them.
Yeah.
What has this experience been like?
Or like what we did together.
Yeah, that's true.
Period.
I like that one.
Hey,
I like that.
actually an interesting thing to say
there.
because one of the things that Joe Mazzulla was emphasizing going into last season was trying to create connectivity between you guys and the crowd.
Yeah.
How did you feel that kind of developed through the season? I know you weren't here the season before to kind of feel some of that angst that he was talking about, but it certainly worked out where you guys certainly felt connected with the fans last year.
I think a lot of it is just how we played, how we came and performed each day, how we showed up as professionals and as people, and I feel like the city of Boston can relate to that. So we were hard workers, and we did it together. So I think for the most part, it was like they were a part of it and they did it with us.
Speaking of hard work, you didn't have much of an off season, right? So from the time when the parade was done, when did you get back ready? Did you go right back into the gym, get ready for the Olympics? And then when the Olympics was over, after you guys won gold, did you take any time off, or did you just keep it going?
You know, from the championship, from the parade to the Olympics, we had a few days there where you get like a little bit of a break, but for the most part,
needed it after that.
You definitely did. I would say you slightly come down from that high, knowing that like you got to go back into playing basketball. You got to go to Vegas and start working with another team that you've never played with before and go win a gold medal. So you took a couple days and then got back in the gym, and then once we won the gold medal, I went on vacation. You know, I got to the beach and did all that. But I got kids, and they in school here in Boston, so I'm here, and basketball is what I love to do. So I've been in the gym for a minute.
One thing I loved what you said not too long ago. You go, I don't need the ball to always help the team. Played with stars like Davis, Giannis, and now Tatum and Brown. How do you continue to play with that humility, but still ball out in the way that you need to?
I think it's just a star in your role. I think it's that on top of seeing the success of your teammates, it does bring joy. And I feel like what we did last year and knowing that I can impact the game in a lot of different ways is something that makes me the basketball player that I am. But that's also fun to me. It makes me competitive. It doesn't mean that I just have to go out there and score. I can make plays for other people and that be a joy to do, or I can get a stop against somebody and that be a joy to do. So I think there's a lot of different ways in basketball or in this sport that you can impact the game, and I usually try to do that any way I can.
How reassuring and how much of maybe an advantage do you guys have knowing that you have, and Brad Stevens and Joe Mazzulla in that front office did a great job of bringing this almost the same group back?
Yeah, I think they did a great job knowing that the chemistry that we had built, the connectivity, how we played with each other, how y'all saw us play together. It's something that was huge and part of the reason why we won a championship. So I think bringing it back this year was really, really big, and we'll just have a even better chance of winning again.
The one thing about this team that I love, especially last year, and it's pretty much the same guys coming in, y'all all mess with each other.
Yeah.
Like, y'all really kick it. And I know how important that is for team building, team chemistry, team trust, all those things. If you trust somebody off the court, you're going to definitely trust them on the court. You guys could talk about basketball. You could talk about life. And it seems like the way you guys are connected is part of the reason why you guys won. And I say this all the time, we got selfless stars. Like you said, star in your role, but you're a star. Mm-hmm. You know, KP a star, Al Horford's a star, you know, but you guys all will take a back seat to somebody that's rocking. But what you guys don't take a back seat to is playing on the defensive end. Right. And so I love that part because you're selfish on the defensive end, selfless on the offensive end, and I think that's just a perfect mix to run this, you know what I mean, make this shit happen.
Run it back.
Make it happen again.
That's all right.
Stuff
We're streaming. Where are you from, bro? No, we can do that. We're streaming.
Make this stuff happen.
Yeah. Jrue,
that's lift.
You're the only guy on this team who has experience of winning and then coming back and trying to do it again.
Yeah.
Obviously, it didn't happen for you guys with the Bucks the year after you won, but you can at least speak to the experience. What is the experience of trying to do it a second time as opposed to doing it the first time?
It's a great experience. It's a different challenge. It's something that, again, not a lot of people get a chance to do. But me having the second chance at it,
I'm super excited. But I think the experience the first time going through it and losing to Boston in 7, it was like, I feel like when you win a championship, that's a part of what makes it great is the experience. So even us taking it through this year, we're going to have challenges, we're going to have ups and downs, and knowing that we're going to have it, even just based off of us winning a championship, it's something fun. And kind of like E said, we did it together last year. We'll go through the same trials or different trials, but we'll do it all together. And I think that's kind of the biggest part is having that experience together to be able to have us build to get to where we want to go to.
I know you're already moving on to the next in this upcoming season, but how sweet was that Game 3 steal against Indiana? That solidified that game. What was the
awesome
feeling like?
That's what he do.
Against
I was turned up. Yeah,
That's what he do.
Yeah. It is a part of, I guess, my DNA. But it was. Sometimes you just go out there and you play your heart out.
Here we go.
Here it is.
Right here.
And
give me
honestly,
that.
I mean, God blesses you with certain
game over.
stuff, right? So it was a great moment. And looking back at it, like, hopefully I get
That
a
was
couple more of
instinct.
those.
That was instinct, and then I'm stronger than you. That's what that was right there. See, look, boom, body.
I'm not losing.
Yep.
It was clean.
It was
Cookies.
Appreciate
That's what they call it, right?
Appreciate y'all. Yeah,
you know,
thank you.
it's funny looking back on the championship run and like thinking in your brain of what are the moments that really stand out about that run. That is one of the plays. Another play when you got the deflection on Luka in the backcourt and then Derrick picks it up and you wind up hitting a 3 at the other end. Like those defensive plays. Porzingis making a block at the rim during Game 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like defensive plays. A lot of times people think of offense, but this team left us.
D-White and
Yep,
Jaylen
D-White
getting
and
the block.
Jaylen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jaylen ripping Luka.
Yeah, and getting
But
that
those
set the
are
tone,
like
yeah.
some of the biggest moments of a
sure.
championship run, and they came on defense. So what does that say about your guys' DNA as a group?
Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of talk about my defense, but I don't do this alone. You just named 4 people, and we
could keep on going.
We got 7 of them.
Yeah.
I think it means a lot, and we've talked about doing things on both ends of the floor. I think being selfish on that end of the floor means a lot. That means I don't like getting beat. I'm taking my competition and being competitive. I'm taking that seriously. On both ends of the floor, but defensively, man, I really do believe that it wins championships.
Love to hear it.
We're so happy
does.
you're here. Thank you
me
so
too.
much.
That's another
for your
team
time.
here, by the way.
Me neither.
Thank you
Yes,
for
sir.
coming
Lauren
by
and the
the
fam
street.
doing all right?
Doing great.
Love to hear that.
We're doing great.
You matched her in gold medals. That's what's up. I know you guys are competitors
2
back
stars,
home.
y'all.
So.
2 stars.
Let's see if I can beat it. No.
Jrue Holiday,
Congrats,
thank you so
Jrue.
much for your
We
time.
appreciate your time, man.
Mark,
All right.
tell us what we got.
All right, we got a Junior Celtics Academy read here. Join the Junior Celtics community to learn more about the youth basketball experiences that are offered. You'll receive updates on programs, discounts, events, and resources right to your inbox. So sign up for updates at Celtics.com/JRCeltics.
Speaking of Jays, what's going on, my friend?
What's up, Jaden?
How
are
you
man?
doing?
Good to see you.
Jaden Springer here joining us. How's the off-season been for you?
Off season been great, you know. Got to enjoy the championship a little bit. Got to lock in, come back to Boston, and be here with the team.
I know that you're a pro in basketball, but I'm going to tell you to hold on. Oh, there you go. Pro everywhere.
We're on it. We're on it.
What is this like going into this season after what you guys did last year, even getting in those, really necessary minutes that you got, and then when you're able to knock down shots like you did with your minutes, how are you able to translate that from last year to this year?
I mean, I feel like it's good. Definitely be able to be a part of that championship run. Seeing the guys, I feel like coming in this year, I feel like we got even greater mindset. Like we know what it takes to get there, and we know what it's going to take for us to come back and do it again. So
it's a unique situation both for you and Xavier, because you come in at the trade deadline, you get 4 months with the team, and you win a championship. You join mid-season, and now you get the offseason to really dive in and learn what the system is and all that stuff. Obviously, you played a game during Summer League, just one. But how do you parlay that into success this season? Taking that 4 months last year and then taking that energy into the offseason and now hitting the ground running tomorrow for the first training camp with this organization?
Yep. I feel like, man, those 4 months I had here were big, being able to see guys like Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, D. White, Jrue Holiday, watching those guys, especially for being a young guy in this league, man, it can only prepare you to be great, So the environment, the organization, everybody pours everything into all the players. So being able to take everything they're teaching us and inputting that this season, this training camp, I feel like that would be pretty helpful.
What you've been doing this summer to add to your bag, or have you add anything new to your bag, or you just kept the tools sharpened? And what is your approach to your workouts? You know, I ask all the young players is it more on the court stuff, or do you incorporate a lot of film watching, or do you put it together?
So for me, I poured in a lot into my body. So being healthy, being strong and stuff like that. But then on the court, probably putting yourself in the best game situations you can, you know. That's a lot that we try to focus on here. So they put game reps, game situations, working out while playing within the offense and stuff like that. So I feel like that's probably helped me the most.
So look, he said working on his body, being strong. Jaylen called me, right? My son in the summer league.
Sure.
He was like, Dad, he's like, I just got ran through today. I guess I was on a fast break and you gave him a shoulder. He's like, I was like, welcome to the NBA. You know, the bodies is a little different. Anyway, we laughed at it though, but he was talking about you. He was like, man, how strong you was.
Yeah. Man, I love Jaylen, man. His energy, everything, bro. Every day he brought it, man. I love playing.
Appreciate it.
For sure.
Talk about strength. We're seeing some right here from your one game out in Vegas. What were you feeling when you came off of that one game when you played really well? You led the team in scoring, I believe.
23 assists. I mean, hello.
I mean, that was all the work you needed to put in during the summer league. But yeah, what were you feeling when you came off of that one game, just in terms of the success that you found?
I mean, I felt pretty good. You know, I've been working with the team a lot. I feel like I kind of got into a rhythm a little bit. I feel like I was just out there hooping, just having fun.
We know one of the reasons you wound up in Boston is Sam Cassell. He had a little insight on you because he was with Doc and the coaching staff out in Philly the year before. What's your relationship with him, and what can you tell the fans about how Sam Cassell approaches every day, what he's like to be around? I know Eddie can provide even more context on that. They won a championship together, but for you, what was your relationship with him, and what's he like?
Sam, that's my guy. You know, I had him in Philly. We always joke with each other, go back and forth. So we actually play one-on-one almost every day too. Check up. I like to guard him.
Who wins?
Oh, of course, me.
Yeah, you know he going left every time.
Yeah, left.
Everything pump fake. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he gonna do.
For sure.
He's got to
Something
defend
tells me you
himself
did
here.
that a few times with Sam back in the day.
I mean, I know Sam games from when he came in from when he was at Florida State.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a hoop historian, man. I love basketball. So I seen him at Florida State, seen him when he was a rookie with the Rockets winning back-to-back championships. Playing against him, we actually put him out. I was with the Suns. We went to 7 games with them in 2005, and we ended up, you know, we knocked them off. And then, but yeah, I had to guard Sam a lot. When he was in Minnesota, when he was in Milwaukee, Sam was tough. He always tried to post you up though, and he can't post you up though. That's the problem. He could work that out on me, but yeah, you got to try to catch Sam up high. You can't let him get to his spots.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a big personality though, as an assistant coach, right?
Yeah,
like for everyone out there, like you don't get to be around Sam every day. Like you're gonna hear him. He's always telling a story.
Always.
What's it like to work with him every day?
And it's fun, man. Like, you know, he'll come on the court. You know, he has a lot of wisdom. He's been around the game for a while, so he's gonna drop in knowledge every time he can, and he gonna talk a little mess to you. So.
He's back.
Yep.
What is something that the coaching staff is telling you that they want want to see more of you this season, improve on, and showcase out there on the court?
Really, they want to see me. They want to see toughness, bringing in intensity on both sides of the ball, being able to flow into the offense and stuff like that, and to be able to help our guys out. JT, JB, D. White, Jrue, KP, Al, help all them guys out whenever I come in and just make an impact on the game.
Is this corny if I ask who's your best friend on the team? Kinda.
Nah, it's not corny. I wouldn't have one best friend. Nah, but they all my best friends.
Everybody's
Again,
like that.
Again, media training.
Hey, listen, you can't do that. That's divisive.
God forbid.
We don't do that here.
Trick question, you
We
passed.
don't do that.
Joe Mazzulla's listening.
Let me ask you this. I ask shooters this all the time. Where's your favorite spot on the court?
Good question.
I know the answer.
Man, all of them.
You spent wherever it is. As soon as I step on that thing, you feel me?
Sure.
Okay, he passed.
Corner.
You know, one of the interesting things about your game, we know that you're a defensive dog. We saw it last season. There were some moments when Joe Mazzulla he was like, I need to change the game with defense, and boom, off the bench, here you come popping in. What does that do to your psyche that when Joe Mazzulla wants to change the game with defense, he's looking down the bench and saying, I want you in there right now?
I mean, it's pretty cool, you know. That's like a level of trust he has for me. So I still look at that as like a sign of respect. And also, you always got to be ready because you don't know. He don't tell you when
that's
happen
a fact.
out of nowhere. So you just always got to be locked in.
Well, you've been locked in, and we can't wait to see how you grow in your first full season with the team, and we're looking forward to you guys trying to do this again. That was a lot of fun last year, right?
Appreciate you.
Yeah, it was a good 4 months for Jaden Springer.
Jaden Springer, thanks so much for your time. Good luck this season. All right, Junior Celtics Academy is presented by New Balance. Had an incredible summer. Get excited about our fall programming and head over to Celtics.com/Junior Celtics to join our Junior Celtic family today.
Irving blocked by Porzingis. He's doing it all.
Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous.
Chance inside, deflected and stolen. Tatum ahead to Brown. Jones blocked by Brown. Gafford blocked by Porzingis. The swat. Horford and another block. Horford knocked away and stolen by Holiday. Blocked by White. Oh, what a block from Derrick White. Stolen by Tatum. Throws a wild pass, stolen by Brown. Holiday all alone. Green in pursuit, but Holiday throws it down.
Y'all good? Chilling. I'm good.
Oh, this show just gets better and better and better and better. We have, as you know, Derrick White in the house here today, the champ. Welcome and congratulations. How's the offseason been?
Congrats on the gold medal.
Gold medal, all of it.
Appreciate it.
Hell of a couple months.
Yeah. Summer was fast, but it was good. I enjoyed it. New experiences. Obviously, winning the championship would have been amazing, but then getting the gold medal too it was a lot of fun, and now I'm excited to be back here.
What was it like getting that call to play for the Olympic team?
Yeah, it was a crazy moment. I was actually packing to go on vacation to Cabo, and so
Change of plans.
Yeah, a different flight I caught, and so I was just thankful and blessed to be a part of it. Thankful for my family, and it was just a great experience for us.
So look, I know you've been around talented players, your whole life, and in the league, you got 1 or 2 or 3, but here on this team, we got about 6, 7, guys that could really, really, really go. 8 possibly. When you on that Olympic team, what are those practices like? And what, like the ego? Yeah, I mean, I know the egos is out of this room because you saw smoke, but you got one too. You play with a chip on your shoulder too. So I know it had to be some back and forth.
Yeah. I mean, I joined late, obviously, so like they was kind of like slowly ramping me up, and then like we had like a scrimmage, 6 on one team, 6 on the other, and I think that was just like the time where you like, damn, this is high level. Everybody just competing. Everybody just going at it. Nobody's backing down, and just good basketball being played. And I think it's just gonna make the next season more competitive. Because when we see them again, like we're gonna want to prove that our team, like we were talking the whole time out there, like why our team is the best. And
right, I know you was.
How they're gonna beat us and like whatnot. And so it's gonna make it fun.
You're like nobody beat us last year,
right.
So. Off with you.
Was that a full circle moment, though? Because where you came from, coming out of D2, Colorado Springs, where coincidentally the USA Olympic Training Center is located there, and now all of a sudden you're representing the United States of America. What was going through your mind from where you started to where you are?
Yeah, it's a crazy journey. My boy texted me like when I was flying out there. He was like, when we were at UCCS together, like if you want to be part of USA basketball, you had to get an internship, and like you're actually going to be on the team and like playing.
No internship needed.
Yeah, and so like that was kind of like the first time I was like, oh, I didn't really think about it like that. And then like I get out there and like I see people that I went to school with because I was in the sport management program, and so like a lot of guys like kind of went to USA basketball. So it was like cool seeing them again. It kind of was like a full circle moment for me, and obviously, I'm thankful for my time at UCCS, and it's kind of set me up for the rest of my career. And now I'm here with the Boston Celtics. Like, it's crazy.
I have one more Olympic question because I think this story is so cool. Your pops didn't have a passport, right?
Nah.
But he got it just in time to go watch you.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah, as soon as like I got the call and then I like told them about it. And my dad was like, how am I going to get out there? So, yeah, he went and got himself a passport, and he didn't miss it. So, of course, he was out there and supporting.
Well, that wasn't the end of the great stuff for Derrick White this offseason. You also just so happened to sign an extension with the Celtics.
Money. Get
KP
that
in
money.
the background. He just keeps creeping over our shoulders. Are you winking too?
He's ready to get in here.
All right. Okay. We'll get you on soon.
It's Derrick White's time.
Yes. But Derrick, you get to sign that extension with the team. Number one, what went into your thinking of deciding to sign the contract extension? And number two, what made you want to be around this team for another, essentially 5 years?
Yeah, I mean, I said the whole time I didn't want to go nowhere, and I truly believed it. I've played my best basketball here, and kind of just fell in love with the city, fell in love with the fans, and I'm playing for the Boston Celtics, the best organization, and we're the best team too. So just playing high level basketball, you can't beat that. And I was thankful to get it done early in the summer, so I didn't have to think about it and didn't have to answer any questions about it. And now I'm just here for a while, and I'm enjoy it all.
That's what I was going to ask you. Was it kind of nerve-wracking before you got it done, being like, damn, if I don't get this deal done, I'm going to be playing, 1 year, and then, we'll see how it happens from there, and maybe you get more money. You know what I mean? You come back, have another fantastic year, you get more money, or it was more so like, hey, this is where I want to be. I love the city of Boston. I love my teammates. I love the organization, and they're going to take care of me. Then I got to sign this deal, right? But at the same time, were you ever worried that you would come into this season without having that deal done at any point?
I wasn't too worried. I was pretty confident going in that
the fan base was. They're like, we can't lose this guy.
Yeah, and that I figured they wanted me here, and I didn't want to go anywhere. So I was hopeful that it would get done. And obviously this is generational money that I never dreamed about, but just to be a part of this organization and this team, I couldn't say no, and I was just super excited to get it done, so I didn't have to answer the question or think about it. But I was pretty confident going in that it would get done.
Congratulations, by the way, on that, too.
Appreciate it.
One thing you also mentioned just now, you play your best basketball here. We just spoke with Jrue Holiday, who says that there are stars within their roles. There are some teams, many teams that have the 1, 2, maybe 3 punch stars, but this is a team that there's a star within every single one of them, and you guys have the depth. Does that factor in to playing your best basketball when you have guys who are bought into what they do with however many minutes they get?
Yeah, I think just the organization, the culture that we have here, we're just going to compete at a high level. So when you start with that, that's at the base level, and every guy comes in and competes, and whether they're playing 15 minutes or 48 minutes, we compete the whole time, and those are just the teammates you want to play for. And every time I go out there, I'm just trying to give it my all, and they make my life easy. So it's going to be a lot of fun this year too.
I don't think I asked you this. I might have last year. I don't remember. But when did you know that you was that good on defense as far as blocking shots? Because that is a talent in itself. Your timing, and you're always at the ball, and so. Take me into your mind when you're going to block a shot, because what I see is you go and
we're going to see him here.
One.
Yeah, that's a good steal. And you meet the ball though. When you go block, see how you met that? You're not going where the ball is at. You're going where so you're anticipating where it's going to be leaving his hand, and is that part of your technique?
I think I've always had good timing. Mm-hmm. And so I've kind of always blocked shots throughout my whole career. The more you play, the more experience you have, you kind of just figure out what you can do, what you can't do, and then you kind of just figure out how you can do it without fouling, which is really my biggest problem, I think, especially young in my career, was I just fouled too much. And so just having good timing, understand what they want to do, and just have no fear and go get it.
You trying to lead the league in blocks, not big man blocks, but as a guard.
Am I trying to lead again?
Yeah, again.
Every year.
Yeah, that's
every year.
You can't sleep on his vert either.
I was just about to say,
his vert?
36 and a half.
Yeah. Do you practice that? Is it natural?
What's your wingspan?
Is it your pops? Is it your family?
6'7" and a half to be exact.
Okay.
I don't know when it started. I think so when I was young, I used to do little hoop like everybody did, but then I made a rule you can't dunk, and so you kind of work on your finishing, but then I also kind of figured out how to block shots, and
you trained yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. And so I don't know if that's the reason or not, but we're gonna go with that.
Kayla, you brought up a comment that he made about him playing his best basketball here in Boston. This is a crazy stat. I don't even know if you know this. You have made more 3-pointers in 2 plus seasons here with the Celtics than you made in your entire career combined before coming here, which I think was 6 seasons. So clearly something has happened and clicked with your three-point shot.
Getting them looks.
What is it? Yeah, what has changed? Is it just the quality of the looks? Is it something to do with your stroke? Have you worked on the shot?
Yeah, definitely getting great looks. I mean, we got obviously great talent around me. Then just more shots. Obviously shooting them a lot more. And then just a lot of work in the off season, just focusing on my form, focus on what I need to work on each and every day, and just having that confidence that the coaches have given me. That, I mean, ever since Joe's taken over, he's like, if you're open, let it fly. And so hearing that from your coach, it just gives you the confidence to go out there and just hoop.
I asked Sam this question because I've seen the difference from the year before last until this year, this past season, where he's finding his spots. He knows where he's going to get his shots from. Is that something that, being with this team and understanding your teammates and they understanding your game, do you know where you're going to get your shots and when you're going to get them? And does that make you a whole lot more comfortable, especially with the coach giving you the green light?
Yeah. I mean, we got unselfish guys up and down this roster, and if you don't want to help on JT and JB, like, they're gonna make their night hell. And so, like, they have to help. And I mean, even KP, like Jrue, like, you gotta help. And so just spacing off them and just creating that outlet, and they make the pass, just you go rise up and knock it down. That's just my mindset right there.
All right, Derrick White, man, we appreciate the time. Congrats on an incredible summer.
Yeah.
Like, you got everything done that you needed to get done, and now you come back and try to do it again here in Boston. So, congrats, and we're looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right.
Good to see you guys again.
Thanks for your time.
Have a fun year again.
Yep,
Looking forward to it.
D. White, ready for another year.
All right, tune in to NBC Sports Boston tonight at 7 p.m. for a special Media Day edition of Celtics Post Up. The crew will have a full wrap-up of today's interviews and look ahead to the new season. It's presented by Eastern Propane and Oil. They're in your neighborhood. And I think we're trying to, there he is. We got the X-Man.
I think he was
David,
looking
good to see you,
at the gold medal over there behind
do we
us.
have it walking around over there?
Bling in the house. Maybe we can try to show.
You know what? Go get that for us on set. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Can we get that gold medal over here? We're
going to need the gold medal on set.
We gotta show that.
We're going to need the gold medal on set.
Cash, can I borrow?
Just real quick, because this is.
Here we go. See, this is the beauty of live TV.
You got to slide it. You got to slide it down.
Thank you, guys.
Ooh, get a close up on this.
Can we hold that up?
Oh, God,
yeah.
the way you're holding it,
You
I'm
got-
nervous. You got it. He goes, trust me.
Let me see that thing one time.
We're going to pass this down.
Yeah.
Wow.
That thing is
Got some
heavy.
weight?
Heavy?
It's real deal.
Holy smokes.
Wow.
It's a whole weight lift.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
Well,
dumbbell.
there was your workout for today, holding that thing.
That's really cool.
No, it's,
Look at you.
he's cheesing.
Yeah, how many teeth have been chewing on the gold medal? We got a champion over here and apparently an honorary gold medalist. But we also have Xavier Tillman. Hello, thank you so much for joining us here. What's the offseason been like? You got a lot of one ring for sure, but also a lot of winners surrounding you.
Yeah, so my off season has been a lot of traveling. As soon as we went down, I went back home. I was at a lake house with my family. Me and my wife went to Bora Bora.
Oh, wow.
We had a family reunion in Houston, and we went to Puerto Rico. It's a lot of travel.
You got a lot in.
Where's the lake house?
It's in Michigan. It's in Michigan.
And you went back to Michigan State, right?
Yeah, we went there.
Saw you on the
a couple
Champions
weekends ago.
Wall.
I'm official now.
We might actually have some B-roll of
You're
that.
what?
I'm official.
Yeah, that's
I'm on the road.
official.
Yeah.
Of
That's
course.
official.
How important is that offseason? I mean, really, to put in all the work that you guys do.
There it is.
There's the fam.
There it is, the Champions Wall.
And then get to celebrate with your family
Nice.
just to hit, like, reset. How big is that and significant?
You got to be proud of that.
I mean, that's like the reason that I'm able to do it on like a continuous basis. Is like you get to see them and get to really like relax and like get back centered, because when you're in this playoff run, you're doing all this stuff, like, your emotions are everywhere, your focus is everywhere. So getting the opportunity to just kind of like be still for a little bit and like just, be one with your priorities is pretty good.
You mentioned the lake house. You got jet skis?
No.
He's trying to crash.
Renting lake house.
Oh.
I ain't buy it yet. I ain't made it yet.
Eddie House
I'm on
about
my
to
way.
be right there.
I'm on my way.
Also, might be in the contract that you can't do that anyway.
What, jet skis?
I don't know, maybe.
No, you got action on
I
jet
know
skis.
there's all those details.
None of those motorized things that you talked about, jet skis, all that. Nah, you can't do none of that.
See?
Man.
Listen, I've never had one of those contracts.
I didn't know if I
Seems like a rule breaker.
I was out there.
Oh, there we go.
I had no
I am not
idea.
out on any jet skis or any motorized vehicles.
No.
Well,
Yeah, I do not
now we
endorse
know.
that behavior.
Now we know. Xavier, you decided to come back as a free agent and sign with this team, and boy, are they going to need you out of the first few months of the season for sure, with Kristaps being out. What made you decide to come back to this team? Why did you want to be here after your first 4 months with the team where you guys wound up winning a ship?
Surprisingly enough, getting traded and leaving the first team that I was ever with, I didn't feel like a fish out of water when I got here. Like Jrue, like Payton, Neem, Jaden. Well, Jaden got traded with me. Not like from the same team, but he got traded with me. But we were able to gel so quickly that like it felt like I'd been here for a while. Like I didn't have to really like introduce myself, and like it didn't take a while. Like,
That's rare. It's like
really
you don't
rare.
hear that happen very. I don't know about your experience, but that's rare.
Yeah, that's super rare. It doesn't go like that because I know I got traded from here to the Knicks, and you go in, and I knew a bunch of the guys from over there. I had played with Q Rich, and so I knew some of the guys, but just getting incorporated in the offense, number one. Trying to find, like, I think D. White went through that his first year. When he got here, he got traded. He was, double dutching, trying to figure out when I get in, when I get out, when am I supposed to be aggressive, when I'm not going to be aggressive. I think those are the most challenging parts of when you come to a new team. But if you have teammates who are just great guys and open arm, welcome you in and giving you game and helping you along, makes it a whole lot easier.
Yeah, I mean, because the stereotype about it is dog eat dog when you get traded and you trying to go and take somebody's spot. But when I got here, that wasn't the vibe here. The vibe was like, we have one goal, and that's to win a chip. Everybody's going to get their role, and you have to be a star in your role. And that kind of made it real easy for me to not have any other mentality other than that.
It's cool to see that vibe play out because you hit in that NBA Finals, that clutch corner three against Dallas. And the best part of it is you get to see the bench. Doris Burke called it out and said, look, at the three is incredible. Look at the bench erupt for you. When you are not only a part of an organization that's that way, but also, there it is, brought back to an organization that is really having the same players.
Started with the block.
There's that block. But what's it, to have this group back together?
Oh, sorry. What was it? I'm watching.
I used to say, I don't blame
There
you.
it is.
Let's just have a moment. Hold on. Look at the.
Now
let's
we
see
got
the
the
replay.
corner three.
I like how you stayed there on the shot.
Is that your favorite shot of your career to this point? Had to be, right?
And the smile.
It had to be.
And what you say to him? What you say to the bench?
Nothing. I just smiled because it was Lively. I think Lively was like, hell no. And I hit it, and I looked at him like,
hell yeah.
The smile told it all.
And he made one that next game, and I was like, oh, well, okay.
That was the first one he ever made.
Yeah, that was the first. Yeah, he never took a
First
three.
one he
ever in his career?
Ever in his career.
And he hit it
I mean,
in the
his career
finals.
wasn't very long, but no, when you made that shot, there were a couple moments in the finals where you knew you weren't losing that game. One was when you made that in Game 3, and the other was when Payton made the one from half court in Game 5.
Yeah.
Like, they were just moments where, like, you could feel the crowd knew it, you guys knew it. I don't think they would admit it, but the Mavs knew it as well. So what did it feel like to make one of those shots that shut the door that night on the other team?
No, it felt amazing for sure. Funny story enough, JB, who threw it to me, was telling me like days in advance, like, hey, like you're gonna get your opportunity. I feel it, but also like had been watching me work out, post practice and all that stuff like that. And he's been watching how successful I had been at shooting. And he's like, you know what, like I'm gonna swing it to you, let it fly. Not even you gotta hit it. He's just like, bro, let it fly. Like I seen you put in the work. Like I trust you. So when that whole play kind of set up and my man was helping, I was like, oh yeah, I'm letting it go.
And it takes the pressure off, right?
Yeah.
Because then you just have all right, let it fly. And you know what that means? You're going to make it.
Yeah, when your star player comes up to you and instills confidence like that, I mean, you're going to make that shot 9 out of 10 times because the belief that he has and the belief that he makes you have even more in yourself. Not that you don't have belief in yourself. It's just, oh, okay.
It just takes it up.
Oh, you know what? They really believe I'm going to knock this down. I'm going to step right into this thing. Cash.
Absolutely.
You solidified it with that smile to the Mavs bench. I still think you said something, but it won't be revealed. Whatever. Xavier Tillman, thank you so much for being here. Congrats.
Thanks. Congratulations
on getting a huge championship win, and good luck.
And good luck for sure.
Looking forward to a first full season with Xavier Tillman on the roster.
Yeah, filled with lots of help.
Hey, thanks for getting us that gold medal over here.
All right, tune in to the C's fans. You can gear up for this season with 20% off select items today at Celtics.com/shop by using code Celtics20 at checkout.
What's up, P? Good to see you, man.
Got another guy, a couple rings this off
Two
season.
rings, that's what they call them.
I got 2 rings.
I got 2 rings.
Yeah, phones, rings.
I'm not gonna sing.
Payton Pritchard, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm gonna put you on the spot, and your wife may be watching. Which one is your favorite ring?
Whoa,
Hey,
don't say
I
it.
literally have
Avoid that answer.
Is your favorite?
The one your wife.
Both very special.
Both very special.
The wife.
Smart. I mean, he's in this background
Listen,
too.
one thing that I've learned today is that we have the best media training, PR, and communications team in the league because not a single person has said the wrong answer when Kayla's put them on the spot.
True.
And she's done it
I've
all
been
day.
dishing them out too.
Credit to our people.
Yes, nicely done, Peyton.
How has your off-season? I mean, it's been amazing, right?
It's been great, but very quick. But excited to get back and get things rolling again.
Can we get you to hold your mic up a little bit? Yeah, there we go. Now, the fans want to hear you. Coming off of that experience, and especially making that shot, we got to talk about that shot. Because it is, when I talk to people, Celtics fans, Celtics employees, people who are watching, like, that's what they're going to remember. Mm-hmm. They're going to remember that for the rest of their lives. You put it through the hoop. What did that feel like? Like, in that moment, what was going through your body and your mind?
I mean, obviously it's a very crazy shot, and a lot of people, it's like a wow factor to it. But I mean, I feel like every time I shoot one of them shots, or anytime I shoot a shot, I have this belief that I really can make it. So yeah,
so it gives you chills.
For sure, it is definitely crazy. But every time I shoot it, I really do believe that this is going in. So. I feel like it's partly I will it in at times. So.
And is that the mindset that you have because all the work you put in? I know you're a hard worker. You're a gym rat. One of your best friends, Jaden Grant, told me he was like, man, he was in the gym before school, in the gym afterwards when you guys, I guess, were in elementary or middle school.
For sure.
And I know that carries over. So is that where you get all of that confidence?
I think work builds confidence. So. You spend hours upon hours. You have this belief in yourself that you can achieve anything in the world through that. So that's kind of how I believe in myself, and I feel like I'm capable of anything.
But it stemmed back in college, right? I was listening to one of the Celtics supporters, Noah, and she spoke with your former head coach and Dana Altman and asked about your half-court shots. And you know what he said? He goes, ask Washington and Arizona. He hit a couple against them. You remember those?
Yeah, they weren't quite as deep as the half-quarters, but they were out there for sure.
It really did solidify. I feel like all of us can attest to this. When you hit that shot, and then we'll get over the half-court shot, but we really can't. Because at that moment, at least for me, I really did feel like, all right, Celtics have this in the bag. Celtics got this.
I think everyone did,
Is
including
that
the other team.
What went through your system?
It's part of the game is and you probably know this, the momentum swings that you get from that, and allowing the crowd to go crazy like that and go into the locker room and have that energy. It just kind of builds to finish it off in the second half. So. Basketball is a game of momentum, so when you hit shots like that, it definitely helps.
The crazy thing was that you had been struggling shooting the ball from 3, and then you knocked that one down. And I was just so happy for it because I'm like, I know you put in work. I talk to you all the time about that. Sure. I was like, I know he puts in the work, and he's getting his shots that he normally knocks down, and for whatever reason it wasn't going in. Sure. But then that one comes up, and that couldn't have been at a better time. Like you said, swung all of the momentum. You seen how crazy the bench was going for you.
Yeah, for sure.
That just showed me exactly how connected you guys are. Mm-hmm. When Xavier hit his shot in the corner, the bench went crazy. Mm-hmm. When you hit that shot, the bench goes crazy. You guys all want to see each other succeed, and I think that's the biggest part of you guys' success. That there's not one person looking like, damn, I should be getting his minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's really no egos on the team, and everybody gets along really well. But like you said, people want to see the success of others, so that's why you build a championship team like that.
just to make sure you understand, and we're going to move on from it after this, but just to make sure you understand, like, there's the Havlicek stole the ball. There's the Gerald Henderson steal. There's the Larry Bird runner to win the – like, your shot is going to live in the lore of Celtics history forever with those. That's pretty darn cool.
Definitely. I mean, something I'll have forever, and, yeah, it's definitely a cool moment.
And for you in particular, coming off of the season that you had the year before, I mean, career low in minutes, career low in games. Then you go into last season, career high in minutes, career high in games. What did that feel like to be able to get that opportunity finally that you were seeking, and not only to get it, but to snatch it and take advantage of it?
Definitely felt good. You know, something, like I said, I worked for, and I didn't want to be that type of player that, you know, was waiting to see what games he was going to play. I want to be a every game type of player, and I played all 82 last year. I plan on playing all 82 this year, and you know, hopefully I make another jump.
Off of Marc's point, what changed for you to go from those career low numbers to career high?
I mean, I feel like, you know, I got more confident. Just, you know, I get familiar with things, and then also, you know, it's coaches start playing you more, and you get the opportunity. Yeah. So that's like a lot of people in the league. Once you get the opportunity, what do you do with it? So, you know, if I do get that chance this year too, I'm gonna just run with it.
How much time did you take off? I know you got married and stuff, right? How much time did you take off after the parade, and then
you know, it's funny. It was like
and stuff, and then get back into the gym?
It was kind of weird because I had USA right after, like, to go down with the select team. So, like, right after the parade, I took a couple of days, but then I had to, like, start training for that next week because obviously, you know, you're trying to put your best foot forward and go and compete against the best. So I went and did that, and then I got a little bit of time off, and then obviously you know, I don't take a lot of time off because I truly enjoy being in the gym.
Gym rat.
Yeah. One of your favorite moments had to have been taking the trophy to your wedding, where you had Blake Griffin officiate.
What does that feel
your
like?
Wedding.
None of us know what
right
that
here,
feels like.
I think this goes on. Like, this should be here in the Auerbach Center. I think this is
that's dope. That's dope.
Ridiculous picture.
No, for sure. I think my family really and friends really enjoyed it. So it was a special day, and I'm glad everybody got to, like, experience that.
Did that come before the first kiss? Kiss on the trophy.
The trophy.
Was Emma willing to budge for that?
Right after.
Right after.
Right after.
How did you get Blake Griffin to, not how, but what made him allow for you to have him to officiate?
We have a really good relationship when he was
one boys, baby.
Yeah, for sure. But we're just, you know, that's like one of my really, really good friends, and you know, he was there through that year. That was a down year for me, and he was always talking to me and having a vet like that. But for me and Emma, he was there at the beginning, and like second or third time hanging out with her, like I brought Blake with me just to kind of, I wanted to just get his vibe, like see what he thought about her. I don't know.
I saw she said that he even third wheeled. That's what
he
did.
Yeah, I was like, so he was just there from the beginning, and I feel like when you're having somebody officiate too, you need somebody that can, you know, be funny and can talk to a crowd, and he was perfect. So, but it just ended up working out because he was there from the beginning.
I want to go back to the USA Select when you went over there. What was that like as far as the competition level and just the experience overall for you to be there?
I mean, for me, like, I'm always looking at ways to keep getting better, and I feel like the only way you get better is to see the best, see how they approach their craft, how they approach their routines, and to get to actually play against them like that. So, you know, I cherish that opportunity to go in there and just, like, see what Steph is doing before he gets on the court. What's he doing? What's his routines, like, when he's on the court? Like, all those dudes, LeBron and all them. Like, I seen LeBron, like, walking out of the weight room at, like, 7 in the morning. And I'm like...
Walking out.
Yeah, walking out. Like, there's a reason why these dudes is where they are. So... for me, it's like taking little things from everybody and trying to implement that.
Anything in particular that you actually have taken and implemented at this point that you're willing to share? No secrets?
I mean, it's a lot of, like, what I noticed about those dudes, how well they take care of their body and the off-the-court stuff, the treatment and all that. They're really diligent with all that. So I feel like for me, it's going to be just another jump in those areas. And that's how you play longevity. I mean, we have Al and Jrue, 16 and what Al's 18.
Yeah.
Like, that don't happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's very special. So I get the luxury of seeing those guys, and that's how I plan on trying to play a long time too. So
one thing that I really enjoyed about last season, guys, in watching with Payton is going into the season, everyone was talking about, oh, Derrick White and Jrue Holiday. Derrick White and Jrue Holiday. They were talking about this two-man guard rotation. Well, they forgot about you. And by the end of the year, everyone knew about you. And you guys formed this three-man guard rotation that kind of everyone brought something different, and you complemented each other so well. What makes you guys as a trio so effective and difficult to play against?
Well, first of all, those two are tremendous, so they definitely deserved every bit of that hype. And for me, I feel like I got better just watching certain things from them. But I feel like the thing that makes us good is like we're all a little bit different in ways. Even defensively, offensively, we're completely different. Like, you know, Derrick's an unbelievable like shot blocker. He can contest crazy shots and he gets in that stuff. Jrue's he's bigger, stronger. He can bump in the post, but he's, I mean, obviously one of the best on-ball defenders I've ever seen. And for me, I feel like I'm more of like a pest type, quick.
Full court
Payton the
sometimes.
Pest.
For sure. But so it's all a little bit different. Then offensively, we're also all a little different too. But I'm just glad I get to learn from two unbelievable dudes. And I was actually talking to my pops this summer, and I was laughing at if there's two dudes to play behind, I'm playing behind two Olympians, which is like, you know what I mean? Like it's actually kind of cool. Like I'm learning from this is who we think is the best right now. So
It's not a bad position to be in.
For sure.
I'll tell you what y'all do got in common. All dogs.
For sure.
All dogs. All three of you guys are dogs. On whatever it is, when you step on that court, y'all taking no prisoners.
The other side, guard rotation, knows it's in for a long night when they're facing off with you guys.
For sure. That's how you build a championship team, you know. Even guys coming off the bench. I mean, you know, everybody that comes into the game, you know, they're capable of doing something and changing the momentum or doing something.
And it happened all season long.
Rings on rings. Payton Pritchard, congratulations to you
rings.
and your wife.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Big deal. All right, we're excited to see you.
All right, thanks, Pete.
Payton Pritchard in the season. You can join the Junior Celtics community to learn more about the youth basketball experiences that are offered. But also, the Celtics' path to a championship started with a dominant home court advantage, and they need you again this season in their quest for Banner 19. You can get your tickets to your favorite matchups now at Celtics.com/ticks.
And just like that,
what's up,
Kayla?
Brooke?
What up with it?
We got Jordan Walsh on set.
He's still a rookie until the next game.
That's what they
that's
all
how
say.
it goes.
I keep being
And they've been saying that to you all day today?
No, so
Come
many
on,
times.
Man. No rookie duties, though, today, right?
No, none of
That's
those.
what I'm talking about. You are beyond that.
You had rookie duties last year?
I did. Just a little bit, though. Nothing crazy.
Like what, donuts, coffee, newspaper?
Cards, turn on the showers after games, lay out the towels.
Small stuff. That's
nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Starting in 3 to 4 weeks, you're going to be able to just hold up that ring finger and say, I'm not a rookie anymore. You see this bling on my finger?
That's a big night for me. Big night.
Can't wait.
Where you getting it at?
I think I'm doing my ring finger. On the right side, though. Right side.
Okay.
Smart.
That's what I went with.
Yeah, that's
Mine's not going to be as big as yours. that I know. But it's going on this hand, too. Jordan, coming off of the championship in your very first season in the league, I feel like sometimes, and depending on the approach, and Eddie, we've kind of touched on this today, a rookie coming in, you can go one way or you can go the other with your mindset. You win a championship. How do you fight complacency of thinking that that type of success is just a given coming into this league? How do you fight against that? Because it certainly seems like it could creep in on someone who just had their first year in the league.
Yeah, for sure. You know, that was one of the things I thought about, you know, after winning, because, you know, for me, like, that's the standard, you know, that's the usual. Yeah. So after, you know, talking to guys like Al, and like JT, and like Al specifically, who's like, you know, it took him a long time to get where he is now and getting a ring. And he's waited so long and grinded so long for it. Like, to get his perspective on, like, yeah, this is not promised, this is not guaranteed, this is not something everybody gets, but like you have it in your first year. Take advantage of that, but know that like it's hard. Like, it's really, really hard to do, and especially hard to do it again.
What did you learn? I mean, you obviously participated in a couple games of it, but being able to sit there and watch what it took for those guys to get over the hump, like, what did you learn and take from that?
It's a lot of sacrifice, for sure. Like, everybody has to sacrifice something. Everybody has to, you know, become a different person, a better version of themselves, for us to be able to win. And that's what a lot of guys did, you know, stepped up. We have a board. We have a list of games where we had 2 or 3 guys out, and the guys on the bench stepped up and, you know, played a big role in winning those games. And, like, those are important games that we need to get that #1 seed. So it's just a big part that everybody has to play to be able to win that championship.
Joe talked to you guys about that this morning?
He did.
Yeah, I knew it. Fresh on the mind.
So what did you do this summer to improve your game, and what areas did you look at and say, hey, man, I must get better, after you soak in the championship and all that you was like, I must get better in these areas, and when you addressed them, how did you attack it?
I mean, a couple of the biggest things for me were, I wanted to be able to shoot the ball with a higher percentage than I did. I was 35% last year. I want to shoot it better. But also, I want to be able to be trusted with the ball in my hands. Although I'm not going to have the ball in my hands here because we have JT, we have D-White, all them. But I wanted to lessen my turnovers. I wanted to be more trustworthy. And so going into practices, working on my handles, working on my catch and shoot threes, but also working on defense and staying in front of guys who are faster than me is also something important. Because at the end of the day, I can work on what I want to, but I got to work on what I can to get on the floor.
Do you watch film? Do you watch a lot of film to help you with that? So do you do more on court, or do you do more film, or do you kind of mush them together?
Yeah, I got
less than one,
Good mix of both. I'm more on court, but I have I have an iPad where they send me all my clips from last year. I've been watching through the whole season, so I definitely am big on film too. But it's a good, healthy mix of both.
Is there anybody in particular? Is there anybody in particular that you look at, maybe on the team, maybe not on the team, around the league, that you look like, you know what, I got a similar body type. I could do those things, and then just kind of watching them kind of pull some of their game and incorporate it into your game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Jaden McDaniels is one of them. I feel like a good two-way player that I can emulate, but also just taking stuff from Jrue Holiday, how he's such a great defender. How do you get named the best defender in the league? How did you do that? And how do I take those steps to become something similar? There's another guy I talk to. I want to emulate for sure.
You also mentioned in Summer League that the game has slowed down for you. You didn't feel like you were going 100 miles per hour. How does that benefit you moving forward and just being able to, whether it's offensively, defensively, but having that control and that patience?
Yeah, like you said, it gives me a better, control and patience for the game. Sometimes when you're going 100 miles per hour, you're going to miss some things. And I was talking to Ross, or one of my trainers earlier, and it's can we be the guy who makes the right read 99.9% of the time? So you can't do that at 100 miles per hour, but if you're doing it at 80, 85, then okay, you can make that right read every time. So that's kind of been my focus.
That's what Sam Hauser said really contributed. He was sitting here earlier. He said that contributed to his ascent into what his role is. I mean, I asked this to all the young guys who come by, but do you look at them as the example and kind of following in their footsteps? I say they as in him and Luke Kornet. Those guys came in, they battled their way from the bottom, and now last year they're rotational pieces on a championship team.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's definitely set the standard for me and kind of paved the road for what I want to be and the road that I can follow. So definitely I look up to those guys. Definitely think that if I can keep grinding the way that I can, then I can be where they're at. And I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get there.
With O'Shea not on the roster this year, with Svi not on the roster this year, do you see some light there in the tunnel? You think that there's a role that you can carve out on this team?
I definitely hope so.
Yeah.
I for sure hope so. I think that there's an available spot for me, and if there is, best believe I'm going to try as hard as I can to get it.
We know you will. We've been watching it all summer.
1,000%. Jordan Walsh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For being here.
Jordan.
Good luck.
Good luck
this
this year,
season.
man.
Appreciate it.
All right.
We have more coming. This is not
It
the
doesn't
stop
end.
of it. We have, I believe, some KP who's going to join us in a little bit. But before he does that, fellas, to see and hear from these guys and the mentality, it really, it goes without saying, but they have this bought-in mentality that they're really not talking too much about what they did last year, but what they're doing this upcoming season. Eddie, how beneficial is that they're already, turning the dial up a notch and turning the new page?
They're all pulling in one direction, and that's the whole thing. There's not, last year was last year and this year is this year, and I think it starts with Joe. It starts with Joe, it starts with JT, it starts with JB, and the messaging, and KP, and Jrue Holidays, Derrick White. I guess the whole team, right? But when your star players buy into what the coach is saying, it's very easy for everybody else to fall in line, especially when the team is a team where everybody messes with each other. If you had an outlier or a couple guys here that, click up, because I've been on teams that click up. So you have a group of guys that are really tight, and then you got other guys, y'all never go out to eat. These guys are always together. Like I said, they're pulling in one direction. And I think that's the most important thing that I've been taking away from listening to all these guys.
And Kayla, listen, here's the difference, and the thing that stands out to me is that some teams might come here and sit down at this desk and talk about it, but we know that this team can be about what they talk about. They did it last year, right? Like they sat here on opening day, whatever you want to call it, media day, and they all said, oh, we're going to be unselfish. We're going to share the ball. We're not going to care about our own numbers. Us, some viewers, are probably sitting there at home thinking, are they really going to do that? But then you watch them the entire season. They were all about what they talked about. And so when they sit here today and they say the same thing, I believe every word that comes out of their mouths because there's no reason not to.
I thought what Xavier Tillman said was, for me, very noteworthy, that he came in here, and it's hard to do after a trade. It's hard to do and just feeling acclimated and feeling like you're a part of a unit, or you have to prove yourself. And he said, no, that's actually not the feeling I had at all. So to have not only him, but this group that has been here for some time, and then to keep building when that chemistry is already there, says something. I do want to ask you this. What may pose, in your opinion, the biggest threat to their run?
Who?
What may pose the biggest threat to the Celtics run?
Who's pose?
Oh, I see what he did there.
She's saying what
serious?
might be the issue
I thought she was talking about Pop.
I thought you were messing
James
with me.
Posey?
Pose,
okay.
He hears Pose.
Pose is the big. Okay, I got you.
It doesn't matter. We got KP here now.
I don't think anything. I think
up,
the
KP?
only thing, health is number one. Health is number one, and then number two is themselves. I don't think that there's a team out there that could beat them if they're locked in and engaged the way they are.
Is he right?
We're on the same page.
He's like about
what
us.
Up, Wayne?
Hell yeah, about you.
What's up, guys?
How was your summer?
Oh, too good, brother. Too good. Yeah.
When did you officially get back?
Thursday night. Yeah.
What's it like being back here in the city where you just won a championship?
It's pretty good. Yeah. Still adjusting a little bit jet lagged, but it's good to be back.
How's your body feeling?
Feeling good.
Good.
Feeling really good. Got some good work in all throughout August. Now September, I'm already itching to be on the court. Had a good workout this weekend, and honestly, kind of feeling. I feel way ahead of the schedule.
That's what I was just going to ask you. Do you feel like you're further ahead than what you thought you were?
They're all going to latch on to that now. KP's back in early November.
Yeah, that's the new headline.
No, but really, talk us through what the process is. Because I'm not going to try to pronounce it, of the injury that you had, because it's way too many long words that I don't know how to pronounce. I don't want to say it wrong. But what's the process of recovering from it? What are you doing on a day-to-day basis, and when does it maybe ramp up to the next stage?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I've started next stage now as I got here. Started running, had some light contact stuff, played some one-on-one.
Ooh.
I felt really good. And the most important is felt really good the next day too. So, looking forward to ramping up even more.
What did that when the injury happened? Because it was kind of weird looking. What did it feel like?
Honestly, it was not a strong pain like I've, for example, had an ACL. Like ACL really hurt. Mm-hmm. This one was kind of like a pop in my ankle, and a part of me was like, man, no way it was my ankle. It could have been the ankle brace or something. That's what I was thinking as I'm running back. I'm like, was that the ankle brace? Like, what was that? And then, obviously, I felt as I kept playing, I felt something was off. I was like, okay, it's like. Man, and then I was like, no way, something
not
happened.
Right now, huh?
Exactly. So,
not right now after I came back the way I came back, which was otherworldly.
How were you able to tap into that mentally, physically, emotionally, having to kind of sit for a sec to heal that ankle, but then say, all right, it's NBA Finals, I'm going to play?
Yeah. No, and to be honest, even 2-3 days before that was my first time playing pickup in practice, and I was terrible. I was like,
I don't believe it.
I'm like, how? No. Seriously, from the way I know how I need to feel, that day I was like, how am I gonna get this going?
This was, and then, just to clarify, this is before you came back for game one?
This was 3 days before game one.
Okay.
And then the day before, somehow my everything just loosened up, finally, and I was like, here we go. And my mood just went up. I was like, here we go. I'm ready to go. And then, obviously, knowing I'm going to have limited time, I just wanted to, leave everything out there, and things just clicked, and I prepared myself as well as I could, just visualizing everything, and so when I was out there, I was just in the moment, just
in a hell of a moment too.
Oh my God! I have never witnessed. I mean, you've watched a lot of basketball. You played basketball. You've watched a lot of. I've never witnessed anything like that, of someone coming back into the most intense scenario you can possibly come back in basketball, which is the NBA Finals. After missing, what was it, 6 weeks? Missing
Yeah,
6
like
weeks, and then just like ice in his veins. I mean, what was it, 11 points during the first quarter, a couple blocks. I'll never forget Mike Breen's call.
18,
He's
right?
got one to beat, but it's a 7-footer. I
And
love
KP,
it.
I love what you said after that game. You go, tonight was an affirmation to myself. I'm pretty good, you know? Maybe I'm not perfect, but I'm pretty good, and I can play like this.
Right.
Yeah, you're all right.
I'm all right. Yeah. No, honestly, that was a special night, and I think all the stuff that I went through throughout my career, coming back from this, that, you know, kind of prepared me for that moment. I was just, I don't know, fearless out there, and I had no, like, I've been already in that situation many times, maybe not on that stage, but again, I don't know. I almost, like, in a way, surprised myself also sometimes, you know, and I went out there and just played and was super in the moment.
I felt like that set the tone as well.
Oh
like
my
the way you
gosh.
came out, you
Yeah,
got you
absolutely.
instantly got the Garden involved. And sometimes, you know, we've been here before where, you know, we might get off to a slow start. The Garden wants to erupt, but now it's a nip
There's
and
like some
tuck game.
angst,
But as
yeah.
soon as, you know, as soon as he started going, it just, your first shot, they went crazy. And then the next one, they went crazy. Then you start dunking. Everybody's going crazy. I was like, okay, this is it right here. It was one of those, you know how you say you have those moments? That was a moment I was like, oh, Dallas is in trouble. Dallas is definitely in trouble. If he plays like this, they're in trouble.
Good night.
Yeah.
On a hurt ankle.
Yeah, unreal. I caught you for a minute one-on-one in the locker room after you guys won in Game 5, and you said to me that you've never felt a connection to the city and to the fan base the way that you have felt it here in Boston. Can you just explain that and kind of elaborate on, now you've had a few months to kind of let it sink in and look back on that. What is that relationship like between you, the city, and the fans?
That's a good question. I don't know. It's just Boston is a sports town, no? Like everybody loves sports here, and the support that I got here from day one, it's hard to compare. You know, it's just different. It's just different. I always enjoyed playing here on the road, but then being here and playing here in front of these fans at
Different
home,
story.
it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, and just everything about it, the franchise, our home court, like everything's just iconic, and our fans are the best.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. We know that at least Celtics Nation is hoping that you become the Christmas gift and hopefully coming back a little sooner than that. How do you go into this season with that mentality, knowing, okay, you're going to have to miss a little bit early of the season, but come in and make an impact? How do you process that?
Yeah, again, it's I've done this a few times already in my career, unfortunately, but I have that experience, and I always trust myself that I'll be able to jump in the game with relatively small or no rust, you know, which is, you know, a big thing. And yeah, having already a season like under my belt with these guys, I think it's going to make it even easier just to jump right back in and you know, get to our playing and yeah, I think even if it's not perfect from the beginning, we still have, you know, a good amount of regular season left, and you know, all kinds of games to get ready for what's going to be the most important is the postseason.
I know we have team goals. The team goal, we know what that is. We don't have to speak what's known, don't need to be talked about, right? Do you have any personal goals that you want to, that you're looking at, like, okay, I want to play maybe X amount of games once I get back, or I want to average X amount of rebounds, or, you know, get block shots, try to get 2 blocks a game, 2.5, somewhere around there?
Right. No, good question. We all, you know, Joe is preparing us all and giving us like good goals for you know, kind of to have a career high in something. Every player needs to have a career high in something, you know. And for me, that's many things, like analytically looking in, like, okay, I can improve my, let's say, rebound percentage here, this, you know. There's going to be many things that I'm going to look at like more like deeply. But number one thing is for me just staying healthy all throughout, you know, once I come back and then into the playoffs, you know. Always there's like something that's small happen, but in the big picture, like, I just want to stay healthy and help this team win another one.
We've spoken to some of the guys who are going to fill your shoes while you're out. You know, Xavier, Al's going to play. Kornet is going to take some of those minutes. You know, there's a whole litany of players who are going to do that. But I think your perspective might be the most unique of what all of those guys bring to the table and why you think this team is going to be okay until you get back. What can you say about that group that's going to be stepping in while you're out?
Yeah, that's the cool thing about this team is like even our winning percentage with our main guys out is really good. Still, it didn't change, So that just speaks volumes of the guys that are maybe not playing as much and are not having as much opportunity. But when they do, they just jump in and play at a high level. And it's like we miss no steps. So I have no doubt that these guys will use that opportunity and play at a high level and hopefully everybody can stay healthy and we can give Al some breaks also, that gave his all in the playoffs and help us win and looking forward to watching Luke and X step up even more.
KP, we're looking forward, to watch you do your thing when the time is right, and we appreciate you taking the time, seeing you healthier and happier and back here in Boston.
Happier.
So thank
you. Couldn't be happier.
I know. Look at that.
This is the happiest man on the earth.
KP, thank you.
Thanks for popping by, man.
Good luck, man.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
For sure.
Cheers.
All right. The train just keeps on moving, and now we have, I don't even know where to start. Do we start with the All-Star? Do we start with the gold medalist? Do we start with the NBA champ? Where on the resume do I want to pick? But Jayson Tatum, congratulations for all.
His name's Champ.
Yeah, name is Champ. Congrats on all that you've been able to accomplish, not only this past season, this off season, but also in your tenure and how you've grown. How have you seen yourself grow?
Just naturally, right? When I got here, I was 19. It's a part of becoming a man, becoming an adult. I went through all the steps of a normal person. I bought my first car, my first home in Boston. My son was born here. And I've just been fortunate enough to grow up in a great place and get to live out my dream.
How much time did you have? I've been asking everybody that when I asked Jrue this, I asked D. White, how much time did you take off after the gold medal before you got back in the gym and had to, start ramping it up for tomorrow?
A few weeks. I had a busy travel schedule.
That's an understatement from what we've seen. You've been even last night, right?
Yeah, was at the
man
premiere.
Was in LA last night.
A few weeks, like 2-3 weeks maybe. So, yeah, it is kind of crazy that we got practice tomorrow and come back quick.
So let me ask you this too. Anything else? Anything we could look for that you might have add to your bag?
For me, it's not just like one specific thing, right? I at 26 and I guess as accomplished as I am, I just always feel like overall I can still get better. I'm not at. You haven't seen like the best version of Jayson Tatum.
Oh, y'all heard that?
And you should,
That's
right?
scary.
I'm only 26. I should continue to keep getting better. So I just strive to continue to do that.
Let's touch on where you were last night, right? Was it the premiere of, or I guess a private showing of Starting Five, which you're one of the 5 guys who the Netflix followed last season. I think this is the first time you've ever allowed cameras kind of like into your home, into your life on a consistent basis to show who you are as a person. What are we going to learn about Jayson Tatum when we see the show come out in just a couple weeks? October 9th, I believe it is, on Netflix.
Yeah, and it was cool. And for me, when you watch the show, you're going to be able to see the day in the life of what goes through an NBA season, right? You're going to see me. Obviously, people see me with Deuce and stuff on the court, but you're going to see us at home doing family things with my mom, drop-offs at school and things like that. You're going to see me with my friends in a personal environment, training with my family. And you're going to see real things like the struggles and the tough moments and the frustrations throughout the season and the playoffs and things like that. And you're going to see the highest of the highs. They covered us winning the championship, and that was the coolest part, that getting that documented throughout the season.
So it sounds like it was basically showing the human side of you, where everybody can get caught up with Jayson Tatum, number 0, Boston Celtics, and to some kids you're a superhero, to some people you're like maybe untouchable and they're unapproachable and maybe not to talk, but it sounds like it got an opportunity to open up and show the human side of you.
Yeah, and I going to the premiere last night and seeing the first 2 episodes, it came out amazing. It was dope to see. I'm excited for, the rest of my family and the fans and everybody to tune in. And get to see a different side of me that you normally wouldn't get to on from a game perspective.
How has that been, being both dad and an all-star, and showing Deuce, on a nightly basis of what it's like to be a professional but also a good dad?
That's all I know at this point. Right? I was drafted and he was born in the same year, and I said all the time I made a commitment that I wasn't going to sacrifice being a great father, and I wasn't going to sacrifice being the best NBA player I could be. And with the help, right, it takes a village to raise a child, and I've had a lot of help. I give a lot of credit to my mom. But yeah, Deuce, that's my man. That's my best friend.
Did you give any tips to Sam Hauser, who's a new dad?
He'll figure it out. It's just
that's what you have to do, right? You just kind of buckle up and try to figure it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Touching on this championship summer one more time, I just think it's such an amazing story of you and Matthew Tkachuk being able to link up back in St. Louis, and you brought the trophy back home. He's fresh off a Stanley Cup. That's crazy for two guys who went to school together to not only win at the highest of levels, but to do it within like a couple weeks of each other and then meet up back home. Like, what was that whole experience like, meeting up with him back there?
It was cool. We went to school together for like 4 years, and that picture that went viral, I think we was going on like a field trip.
Bus, yeah.
Field trip somewhere. But no, I'm super happy for him, happy for his family. I always knew that, he was a special kid, special person. I didn't claim to be the biggest hockey fan, but I've supported him throughout his career. And it was just cool to see two kids from St. Louis that were in the same class at Chaminade win their respective championship in the same year.
Did you guys talk about that? You say you went to school for 4 years. Did you guys ever talk about, like, man, one of these days I'm gonna make it to the league, and he like, one of these days I'm gonna be in the NHL, or I'm gonna win a championship one of these? Did you guys have those conversations?
Yeah. So his dad is a hockey legend. His dad played in the NHL, and I knew that he had dreams and aspirations of playing in the NHL one day, and that's all I ever knew was talking about being in the NBA. But at that point, everybody wants to be a professional athlete, right?
I did. It didn't work.
It
did not work.
So, it's one thing to talk about it and dream about it, but just fast forward years later that we actually did it was pretty cool.
It's neat that you were able to manifest that and see it play out.
It's incredible.
Going
it's an incredible
into
story.
this season, how are you approaching it from a mental, emotional, physical standpoint, knowing that you got a lot of your guys back, but also that, teams are coming after you?
Yeah, teams been coming after us the last
That's what Eddie
5
said.
years.
Yep,
Yeah, that's what I
Eddie
said.
And Joe has mentioned it, like, we're not defending the championship. Defending make it seem like you on your heels and you waiting for people to attack. Last year was last year, right? It was incredible. We had a historic season. We had an all-time great team, and we accomplished something special. And we should enjoy that. And on ring night, we should enjoy that. Like, we worked hard for it. And then after ring night, it's a new season, and we, like every other team, well, not every other team, like a few other teams, trying to go and win a championship. And that's the goal and mindset.
I talked to Joe about this a few days ago, that just because you bring the same team back doesn't mean you're going to have the same results with that same team. He said circumstances change, right? Like, opponents change. Some teams have loaded up in the East. You might see a different team from the West get into the NBA Finals. How do you look at that? Like, it's the same team for the most part, but it's a different team because you're entering a totally new journey together.
Yeah, it's a new year, and there's different dynamics, right? We don't know how long KP is going to be out, and we don't have to manage, how we do that. And some guys may have Nemi, probably have a bigger role, and X and all those guys, which we did an amazing job last year of just figuring it out. When we had one or two guys out the lineup, our record was still, super high, and we believe in our work and what we do. We know how to play with each other, and we trust our system.
Yeah, and I think that's trust has been coming up a lot today. Everybody's been talking about trust, and I think, number one, you guys trust your head. Brad the head coach trusts Brad trusts the head coach, you guys trust them, and everybody on the team trusts each other. The one thing I see that you guys really kick it with each other. You guys really care for each other. There was clips that we showed when X hit the shot in the corner, bench went crazy. When Payton hit that half-court shot, the bench goes crazy. I think that coming back with the same team, because after we won it, we got plucked a couple players, right? And usually that's what happens.
Yeah.
Somebody gets paid, and you don't have the same team. For you guys to have the same team and the same mindset and the same focus and all pulling in the same direction, I don't think you guys are going to miss a beat. You know what I mean? I don't think that, it's different circumstances. Things might happen throughout the course, but it's the same. You guys have the same mentality. You guys have the same players. So I expect y'all to hit the ground running. Ring night's going to go out. You're going to blow these cats out, and then we're going to keep moving forward. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. You know what I mean? That's the vibe I've been getting from everybody. For everybody that's been talking is really locked in on moving on to the goal, and we don't have to talk about it because it's understood what it is.
No, I agree. And even though it was a short off season with the Olympics, and it's crazy to think that we got practice tomorrow, in a sense, I missed being around these guys. Last year was so special. We had so much fun playing the right way and playing as a team, and we were so excited for each other's success on the court. Like you said, the three that X hit in Game 3 of the finals, I don't know if he played the 2 games before that, but he got in and he knew what to do, and we all trusted him. So I've missed being around everybody. I missed those moments of, playing at home, practicing, going into somebody else's arena and winning by 25. Just the camaraderie that we have, it's special. And when you've been on teams that it's not like that, and when you have it, you want to cherish it, and that's what we have.
It's one more thing. So, early on in the finals, you weren't scoring as much. You was mainly getting other guys involved, right? You have every right to take 25 shots a game, right? But you didn't. I think game you maybe took 10 shots or something like that, 10 or 12 shots, something very low. But somebody else had it going. And to me, that's the one thing about this team is all you guys are selfless on the offensive end, but defensively you guys are selfish. You take pride in your defense, and then you're also selfless on the defensive end when if I got to give up my body for my teammate, if he's expecting me to be there, I got to be there. So I see all of those things, and it stems from the leadership, I believe, from you and JB of being selfless stars. And when your star players are like that, it's a whole lot easier for the role players just to buy into it. And like I say, the message that Joe maybe gives you guys receive it. There's no head button man, because I've been on teams where the star be like, man, what are you talking about, right? Yeah. And all that does is cause division. Yeah. I like that you guys are all on the same page. You guys are doing your thing, and it all stems with you guys being selfless, and selfish when you need to be, but selfless for everybody else.
I believe it was all but 2, maybe 3 players that didn't score that night. So that says something that you were able to get everyone involved, to Eddie's point.
No, for sure. And just it comes from being so close. So many years and falling short. We were just all at the perfect point in our career where everybody was bought in, and the environment that we've created throughout the organization, every single day, from the top guy, myself, whoever, to the chef, to the janitors, everybody in that facility every single day is contributing to our success. And for the people on TV who might not see the staff or whoever that's in the facility that's helping us be better players, that's going to be better teammates and helping us win games, we really do have an amazing environment, and it makes coming to work, coming to the gym every day exciting and fun, and just love what you do.
Jayson, I know you got, by the way, more jobs, in your bag, because you have to now teach Sam Hauser how to be a good dad as well. You got a whole lot more roles. Yeah. Congratulations, by the way, on your book.
Thank you. It's been
designing shoes all the time. Amazing shoes, by the way.
I need a pair.
I got you.
Congratulations. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're jet lagged a little bit, so
good luck
this season, bro.
Jayson Tatum, everybody. We have, I believe,
We are down
a very special
to
person
one.
coming to our desk here. We have one more player that we want to talk to, obviously, Jaylen Brown. Scalabrine, if he's in the house,
Let's
I think
hope
we're going
not.
to try to call him over. He's sitting down. He's chilling. He's coming over. What's going on, Scal?
You got Scal coming in?
What's up, Scal?
Now we're whole.
What's up, brother?
Now this
You been in that sun?
What the hell is he doing here?
Hey, you been in that
Bringing
sun?
it up a notch.
I
Scal.
stay in the sun, not like you at the lake. Are we on air? Or we just,
Oh, we're live.
up.
I think we're rolling.
You're rolling.
you acting
talent
like you were
light
just
is up.
chopping it up.
I was just chopping
I
it
almost
up.
dropped the.
Here's the difference.
Are we on air?
We're streaming. We're not on. We're not on
Gotcha.
TV right now. So
When
we're
you
good.
say we were whole, what we doing with him here?
above hole.
Everybody.
Good to be back.
How you doing?
Life's good. Life's really good.
Just coming in for the final 5 minutes of.
Man, I've been here. I didn't know what time.
That's true. I haven't
I don't read
seen you
emails.
around.
Haven't seen
I'm gonna
you.
tell you guys right now. I don't read emails, so I didn't know what time I had to be here. I didn't know I had to be here at like 2:30. Now I know.
Doesn't Kevin Miller text you?
I know, but I'm not really
2:30.
good like that.
Okay.
He told me swing on by.
Eddie's been here
All
since
right.
9:30.
He has been walking. No, I
I'm here
haven't seen
since
Scott walk around.
9:30.
Let me tell you a story one time. Like Ray Allen one time had a birthday party. Told me a barbecue. He told me to get there at 6 o'clock. I got there at 6 o'clock. Who was there? Nobody.
Ray. That's it.
Then we had a
you
birthday.
learned from that
Then we
moment?
had a birthday party, and they told me to be there at 12 o'clock, and I showed up at 1:30. Guess who was there? Nobody. They already had it. I go, what's the deal here?
What's the in
Keep setting the
between?
tone, though.
With
Keep setting the tone.
kids, you got to go on time.
You got to be on time.
With barbecues, it's later.
Scal, that's
I
what
didn't
it used to
know.
Teach
be
my pops
when
that.
Doc was running practices and they used to send out the media time.
Yeah.
If we came on time, we'd be sitting for like 2 hours waiting for you guys to wrap up.
How it
and
is.
and then that one day where you're like, they're not going to be done on time.
On time.
You miss it.
That's it.
So,
Scott, what are you making of all of this? You know, you're getting to see these champions, but they're coming in here. You know what it's like as a player to already turn the dials, move the clock forward and get going to next season.
I think the thing I'm most concerned about, not concerned, I'm curious about is, and maybe Eddie can co-sign this, I thought our best team by far was 2009, right? And just like this team, it's going to come down to staying healthy.
just to clarify, that's the year after you won.
Yeah,
it's
great job.
coming,
Thank
coming
you.
back.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Just in case. So the year after we won,
We got young fans.
We were the best. I thought we were the best team in the NBA. I thought the margin was even better than it was before. I thought our defense was clicking on all cylinders. All that stuff, I felt like we were the best team. But it came down to, could we stay healthy? Kevin Garnett ended up getting hurt. We were still really good that year.
We won 62, right?
Yeah, and we had Orlando on the ropes who went to the finals. So that was our best team. Yet, the year before we won the championship. So I think that we'll see a lot of that from these guys. I know they're hard workers. I know the numbers 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like those guys are going to be chipping in throughout the season. And I'm really excited about seeing what those guys can do if they navigate the season a certain way. Because I remember our second unit in 2009, I just thought we were wrong. We'd go in there and build leads, and it was like we take pride in that. I think that this group will do the same thing.
I think they're going to have to be even more important this year than they were last year, maybe even for your guys' team, because we've got 3 guys who are coming off playing in the Olympics. We've got Payton Pritchard, didn't play in the Olympics, but he was out with the Team USA select group. So these guys came off of not only a championship, but then they had to go through camp. Some of them went out and won the Olympics, and then obviously had a bunch of other commitments throughout the summer. So that's a good chunk of your roster that's not necessarily rested going into tomorrow. So it's going to be interesting to see how Joe navigates that with the full roster. And KP is out for we don't even know how long. So it's going to be interesting to see how he distributes those minutes and maybe gives these guys a little bit of a break up front. But I don't know how that's going to work.
I think the best thing is that these guys are young. They're not old veterans. I mean, we got some older veterans on the team. We talk about Jrue and Al, but those guys will be on a pitch count probably more so than
a lot of miles on those
a
young
lot of
legs,
miles.
though.
So I would expect them to be on somewhat of a pitch count. But this is a great opportunity for that second unit, for Payton Pritchard to step up, for all these guys who are looking to kind of solidify themselves again. I always say, you're auditioning for 29 other teams as well. You know what I'm saying? So you want to win with your team right now, but if you're like 1-year deal or you're a Lonnie Walker who unguaranteed contract, when you get an opportunity, you want to make sure you seize it, take the bull by the horns and make sure you take advantage of that, because you always want to put something good on tape. and you want to just be a good pro. That way, when you walk around the locker room or somebody calls like, man, how is he? You know, they'll call everybody. They'll call the chef, and everybody say, hey, well, how is he? Oh, he's very polite. He says thank you all the time. I appreciate it. All those little small things, you know. And so I think we got pros on this team, though.
I know it's not being encouraged to talk about running it back, and I actually like that it's not being encouraged, because you don't really look. They don't look at it as defending chance. They want it. I know.
Wait, we're not allowed to say that?
No,
Why?
it's the R word.
Joe
running it back.
Joe don't like it. Right?
Joe don't. So what? Hold on here.
Running
You gonna come over here and lecture us on what we're allowed to say?
And defending chance. None of that.
I'm saying that's what they told me.
Guys, I'm out.
So we're not allowed to talk about defending champs?
Well, we can rephrase it, right? We can say.
What do you got? What do you got, Kayla?
Hey,
okay.
It's about winning again.
The next.
On to the next.
Like, it's not running it back. It's not defending champs. On to the next. If he gets mad at that, I'm out.
He didn't like defending champs either. JT just came up here and said
there's a lot of
the word
language
defending made it seem like you're on your heels and you're not aggressive. So not going to use that term with them, and he's not going to use running back with them.
So we have the list.
All right.
Anyway,
you got the list.
we have the list.
Let me see what I'm allowed to say.
In red, banned words.
How do you avoid that kind of subconscious, maybe winning hangover going into this season, where you know, like, all right, we got the majority of our guys back. You know, Brad Stevens, Joe Mazzulla, the front office did a phenomenal job, paid a lot of money to get these guys back. We know that we are capable of not only, or God forbid, say running it back. We know we're capable of winning. How do you avoid that hangover?
I think it's just being competitive and just being confident in what you did. Let's just talk about the NBA for 1 second here. The gap between the Boston Celtics and the rest of the NBA was massive last year. I don't care what anybody says. You can watch any of those playoffs. None of those teams were beating the Boston Celtics. It was massive. Yeah. But the NBA got better. The Eastern Conference got better. The gap has closed. So at that point, it is how confident are you going into every game? And when you're in, let's call it a 101, 102 game with 4 minutes to go on the road, are you handling that? And you should, because you went into the toughest environment and you won. So once you win a championship, run it back, defending champ, I don't care what you call it. At that point, you're playing that possession and you're playing that possession with confidence. So it's not about, oh no, it's coming after us. It's just about doing what you do and believing in what you do.
And to that point where I've always said this, that when they're like, oh, they're going to be the hunted now, I'm like, hell, they've been the hunted for the last 5 years. They went to conference championships, went to NBA championship. They've been getting hunted for 5 years, so they know how to take that. And as far as a hangover, that would be like if somebody just didn't do anything. We got to, like I said, these are pros. They are working. They're in the lab all the time. They love to work. They love to come to the gym. It's a great environment in here. They got great staff members to help them do whatever they need. They got the great kitchen up there. So it's not like you just coming in here and trying to get in shape. If you looked at everybody that walked by, they are in phenomenal shape already. And so that would, if somebody came in out of shape and was going to use camp to get in shape, then I would be worried about that. But the way everybody looked, everybody looked great.
Yeah, and I think you said it right from the beginning. A lot of times, what people don't recognize is championship teams lose players. That's just the way it goes. Sometimes a guy usually overperforms his contract, like a Sam Hauser last year, and then Sam Hauser wouldn't come back because the market dictates him making a lot more money. But in this roster in particular, everyone is back. Like we didn't lose anybody that contributed last year, so you would assume that when you look at this team, they're going to be Sam Hauser wants more, Payton Pritchard wants more, Luke Kornet, Queta, Baylor Scheierman, he wants to make his mark. Like everybody wants more. So I can't imagine there's a quote unquote hangover. As Eddie said, there's championship hangovers, but Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, those guys got something to prove. Jrue Holiday's knocking on the door, if not into the Hall of Fame.
I said that to him earlier.
Al Horford, you win one, you want another one. Yeah. There's so much for these guys to prove, so I'm not worried about a championship hangover.
I want to ask you two guys, because we haven't asked the guys who sat down today about, it feels like you are a changed man once you win a championship. Like that, the memory of going through it and what it takes to get over the hump and to finish it off never leaves you, right? Like you have that to to lean on in tough moments, like you were saying, when you got that 101 to 100 game, like you know how to win in that tough environment. How does it change you after you get that victory?
Walking around, chest out, head up high.
Exactly.
Can't tell me nothing, man.
Extensions.
Yeah, you can do anything and have confidence the next year, like the next day, the next month. But yeah, I mean, no doubt. Like there's a lot of things you do in your life, from being a kid and not being recognized to getting a college scholarship offer, to being a kid that no one talked about, to being all league, all state, all this. You've been accomplishing things your whole life, but I think at the highest level, like for these guys, and I think it's weird how the NBA has not embraced them. It almost feels like a national media thinks the Knicks won the championship last year. Right. You see them all over the place on every pod, and you don't hear nothing about Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, right? So it is a little strange the way the national media has treated the Boston Celtics. So to me, not only are you, like Eddie said, you're holding your head high, but you're also being disrespected all offseason.
Yeah. Well, Scott, one thing that Jrue Holiday also mentioned here earlier was the fact that they're able to buy into they're able to be the stars within their role. Like you have different, I don't even like saying the word role player, but if you were to say that, you have different role players and each one of them buys into it. How important is that for this upcoming season?
Yeah, so historically, you got a question?
I do.
Oh, you want me out of here?
Goodbye, Scal.
We'll give you that answer later. Here you go.
Hey, Scal, I got a question. Get out.
Hey, give me that. Yeah, go get your ass up out of here, Scal.
I feel like I disrespected Scal. My bad.
Oh, man. That was my favorite moment of the day. Hey, I got a question, Scal.
Seat check, homie. Seat check, homie.
How can you set me up that way? Jaylen Brown, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. I've been having a great summer. Now we get the guys back going again, so I'm ready. Let's do it.
I see you. You've been living. I see.
I'm having a great summer, not gonna lie. That was a tweet,
you've been
right?
living. Hey, but look, you the most disrespected star in the league to me, right? And I told you this when I seen you in the summer league. There ain't no way you don't make all defensive team. There's no way you should have not been on the USA basketball team. There's no way that all of those things happen. All NBA team, right? There's no way none of those things happen with how you produce and how you play. Talk about that motivation, because I know as a competitor, we're always looking for something, you know what I mean? And after having the success you had last year, and then them doing that, how much did that drive you this summer?
I would be lying if I say it didn't. So, like you said, as a competitor, you're always looking for any key identifiers that can help you, be motivated, stay motivated, and add to that chip on your shoulder. I'm that type of guy already. I'm always looking for something. But when things don't go your way, or when people still and it gets, those voices get louder, it makes you wake up even more to drive and be better. So I'm excited to get back going with the guys. I'm excited to start the new year. Even though I did all that traveling, this is probably, I say it every year, this is the hardest I probably ever worked.
How do you do that?
That's scary.
How you stay down in the water though? How you just stay there? You be like posing in that thing like a statue.
I could probably hold my breath for like 3+ minutes underwater.
You remember our moment a few years ago when I said that I thought the world record for holding your breath underwater was like 60 minutes or something?
What is it? It was like 10.
I got it written down. It's 24 minutes, 37 seconds.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Couldn't nobody be underwater for no hour holding their breath?
That's
Come
why
on,
Jaylen was like, he looked at me, he was like, that's crazy. I don't think that's
Where'd
true.
you get that info at?
Yeah, that was made up off the internet.
What did that experience do for you? Where'd you learn, why did you decide to do that?
I had some great trainers and great teachers. One, shout out to Gabby and Laird. But Luca, my Sifu, he's actually younger than me. He's like 23 years old, but he's like a fish. And we don't really, we breathe every day, but we kind of don't take that, we kind of take it for granted. Breathing is such an essential for life, and being underwater helps you work on your breathing and expand it. And the better you breathe, the better you do everything. The clearer you think, the decision making, you get faster, stronger, but it also, it has a lot of health benefits as well. So working on that skill of being able to breathe better only makes you a better athlete, a better person, and make your quality of life is just better. So it's something I worked on.
You were like 2 minutes and 2.5 minutes a couple years ago, right? Now you worked up to 3 minutes, holding your breath underwater.
I think so. Yeah.
If my memory serves, which it doesn't always do that.
Yeah.
But.
I mean, we didn't necessarily time it. Like I didn't try, but like some of the drills that we do is that's just the normal. So I'm excited. I'm excited about the upcoming year. Like you said, I feel almost like last year all over again, because it's kind of like when we lost, it was like two ways you can go when you're at the bottom. Like either you can give up or you can go up. And then when you're at the top, it's either you can push through for new or you can go down. So it's like you kind of at those same kind of precipice, and you got to make those decisions. And we got a bunch of killers in our locker room, so I'm excited to go through the journey with them.
Did you notice when you first started doing the water breathing, did your stamina increase? Like just being in way better? Were you like, man, I'm in crazy shape right now?
Yeah, and I think that's why I was able to do what I did on the defensive end all last year. Like all last season, I was picking up guys full court. Whether it was Dame Lillard, Steph Curry, like I'm 6'7", 240 pounds, night after night after night, picking up guys full court, taking on a defensive matchup while being efficient on the offensive end. You got to be in great shape to do that, or your body will break down. Like your knees, your ankles, it's just the science behind it. But by increasing my stamina, increasing my shape, I was able to do that all the way through the playoffs without having any injuries, playing 70-plus games, and maximizing on both ends.
My favorite.
It's a pretty good resume.
That is. My favorite game was last year. You on the defensive end. We were playing in New Orleans. Zion had like 8 quick points. I mean, you look up, it was like 7 minutes on the clock, 8 points, and he took him. And he said, I got him. And he was picking him up half court. He started fumbling the ball, had like 2 quick turnovers, and basically took him out the game. And that shows your defensive. That's when I was like, hold up, that's different. Because, okay, he's picking up guards, like you picked up Luka, give me those, took him, took cookies on him. You say you was guarding Dame Lillard's, guys like that. And then to go to Zion, that's a total different monster. He's built different, he plays different, and you were able to absorb the physicality, force him off of his spots. To me, that was my favorite game by you. Or defensively, I was super impressed. And remember, I interviewed you afterwards. I was like, I was juiced, because I love seeing stuff like that. You know what I mean?
And Zion hurt my back after that.
Yeah, that's what you was like. My back is hurting out here.
For sure, but we praise offensive ability and having versatility to be able to do certain things on offense, but we don't really praise defensive versatility, being able to guard multiple positions, being able to chase a guy off a screen, being able to pick a guy up full court, being able to battle with a big, being able to do all of those things add to your defensive arsenal. Not a lot of guys in the league who can do that or can say that, and that's what some of our guys in our locker room, we preach and we praise. Like, I'll pick a guy up full court and I'll chase a shooter off a screen. Then you'll switch onto a big, go meet a guy at the rim. These are all defensive skills and assets that we all talk about and work on, and be able to make those plays, even though people don't notice them because defense isn't as highlighted as offense is. But being able to do all those different things on the defensive end makes you extremely valuable.
You said, you want to go?
No, go ahead.
Thank you. You would be remiss, you said, if this offseason didn't motivate you in certain ways. I look back to that championship game, and you guys had, I think, all but 2-3 players that scored, and the unselfishness that, Eddie, you mentioned here right from the start. Going into another year with arguably the same group, how much of a payoff is that, and in a way that can benefit you guys when you play with that unselfishness, and you and JT as leaders of that?
Yeah, it's a part of our style. It's a part of like the culture that we built, playing the game the right way. Everybody, using every aspect of our team to help uplift the whole group. Like, we need everybody. We need the best out of Payton. I need the best out of Sam. I need the best out of X. I need the best out of Luke, and I need the best out of the guys that is in front of us, Derrick White, Jrue. And we kind of learned that as we've gotten older in our careers, because like we've been close. We knocked on the door for like 5 or 6 years and failed. So we got a lot of experience in learning how to, get the most out of our teammates, and I'm looking forward to doing that even more so going into this year.
And
speaking of the two,
what you was just saying right there about you want the best out of him, you want to bring the best out of everybody else, but like that's easier said than done because as a leader, you got to do it. You got to prove that. You got to be the one that's out there. I'll give you a story. Like, so I used to come in, like maybe practices at 10. I might get there at 9:15, 9:30. You know, jump in the thing real quick, get taped up, right? And I go onto the court. This was like maybe the first 3 practices we had in 08, and Ticket is in full sweat, like going to work, working on his post moves, you know, playing one-on-one G-unit runs. And you know what it made me do? I was like, man, I ain't shit. I can't believe I'm over here dragging, and the best player made over $300 million at the time, all the accolades, MVP, all that type of stuff, is in here working this hard. I can't let him down. Yeah. And so when you were just saying that, that made me, it reminded me of that. It's like when you work your butt off, then somebody else is going to be like, yeah, I got to do it. I can't let him down. I'm going to stay after, get some extra shots. Be like, you know, start pulling you to the side like, hey, come on, let's get some extra shots. You be like, yeah, let's do it. Now we both working on our stuff. You know what I mean? And, you know, what is that? Iron sharp as iron? You know what I mean?
All of that is important. Even like, you know, at certain teams and certain games, just because of like, you know, the identity that we built, we know we're going to win some of these games. Playing through those guys at times instead of like it always got to be through me and Jay. I think it's incremental for their growth, you know. So like we play through Payton at times, we'll play through Sam. We're looking for him to get his shot, and guys, they need that. They want that. So finding different ways to lead also sometimes means that sacrifice. Where you know, in a night we playing, don't mean to disrespect them, but the Detroit Pistons who have struggled over the last year or two, you know, we're gonna play through Payton, let him go for 30. And play through Sam, let him shoot 10 threes tonight. We're going to still win the game. You know, it don't have to be the normal way, but that gives those guys confidence. That gives those guys ability to run free. And we're going to need that down the line. Like, we needed Payton to hit those shots down the line in the season. We needed Sam to come in and hit those shots and be inspired to play defense. And that's how you build good team morale. So I'm looking forward to doing stuff like that and helping our guys grow.
You know what X said about you before he hit that corner 3 in Game 3? He said you told him like few days before, like, man, you know what? Just stay ready. You're gonna be ready.
You had seen
I see your work.
I seen him working.
And you're like, it's gonna come. I'm gonna come.
And he said, let it fly.
And see, so when you,
I knew it was good before he even.
You said that after the game.
But see, that's important too, because then when you have your guys believing and you done put in all this work and you ain't been getting on the court, right? You like, damn, man, what I got to do to get out there? And then your star player come and is like, yo, be ready. I'm going to come to you, man. You're going to get your shot. You're going to get your chance. I'm going to be ready and let it go. And that makes it was already in before. When you passed it to him, that ball was going in because of just the energy that was behind everything that went into it. We see the finishing product, but we didn't see him working. We didn't hear that conversation you had until he just told us. So when that ball went in the air to him, that it was already ordained.
You already knew.
If you see like my body language, when I pass it to him, I kind of start almost running back.
That is the best kind of infectious energy that translates onto the court. So I know that a lot of these Celtics fans are excited to see that continue into this next season. And I will say congratulations on the initiative in exchange. BXC
That's dope.
Recently launching an initiative to revive Black Wall Street. So awesome what you're doing in the community.
Can you touch on it real quick of just what the Boston Exchange is all about?
Yeah, being able to, you know, kind of help redirect the wealth disparity here in Boston. I've been here for 9 or 10 years, and that's been an issue that nobody likes to talk about. And I think that, you know, a part of me being a part of the Boston society here in the community, like, I want to be solution-based. So to be able to help push us to being a better Boston, more equitable Boston, and allow those resources to kind of, you know, spread amongst different communities, I think is key. But also to be able to do it in other places in the world as well. Second home in the Bay Area, being able to partner with Jayson Kidd, even though we just put it on him and got that championship, he was able to put that to the side and be like, you know, I want my community to be better as well. I want my community to be more equitable as well. How can we build a plan here? So being able to unite with guys who care about their community, that's the best investment I think I'm gonna ever make, is the community that I stay in and the community that I grew up in. So that's what I stand on, that's what I believe in, and that's where I spend a lot of my time.
Thank you.
Well said.
Thank you so much for doing what you're doing. And we're excited to see you ball out for another year. Everyone, Jaylen Brown,
Good luck, bro.
Grateful to have him
Thank you.
here.
Welcome.
Thank you all for joining us on this Celtics Media Day. And guess what? The season is not too far away at all.
Tomorrow morning, practice number 1.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's
Thank
go.
you, JB.
Thanks, JB.
Good luck this season.
Thank you.
All right, man.